Good afternoon. I am Dom.
I'm Jamie, and we interrupt our regularly scheduled program of the Stoned Age.
We did, and I know you guys are pissed.
Yes.
I know you guys are sad. I know you guys are ready for the Stoned Age. Don't worry, it's coming. We might have something just a little bit better for you. I can't, maybe the Stone Age is better than this.
Dom's new obsession is what we're going to do.
We could call this movie that.
The Substance Part 2.
The Substance 2.
For you.
The Substance 2025.
Yes, yes.
I will say I didn't think I would get a film that I like as much or maybe even more than The Substance this soon. Thought it would be maybe 5 to 10 years. But fuck, here we are less than a year later.
Yeah.
Before I even say anything, we're getting to this. I'm going to preface this saying this. I'm going to use some language and quotes, and while we're talking about the film, that they're in the movie, but these are words and things that might offend certain people. But just know, I am a black dude, so when you hear me say nigga and nigger, that's me quoting the film, and these are lines that were said. Unfortunately, guys, this is how black people talk. So I'm gonna be saying some stuff. I'm not holding back in this review. I'm gonna say what I think because this movie deserves that, I think. Today we're doing 2025 Ryan Coogler's new original film, Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan, who all the ladies seem to be liking. He's fucking jacked in this movie.
He is.
He looks like he ate someone.
He's twice as jacked.
He's twice as jacked. He is twice as jacked.
Now, really quick, I did want to say, like and subscribe as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. And also, I saw a really good first reaction review on YouTube from a site called Don't Forget the Popcorn.
Oh, yes.
So,
let's say this. If you guys haven't seen the movie, turn this shit the fuck off. But I did a spoiler-free review on my channel. If you guys want to watch it, Don't Forget the Popcorn. And I do go, it's fun. I get into it, but I do not give anything away. We giving this shit away. This is Red Hot Chili Peppers out here, bro. I'm Anthony Kiedis. Give it away now. Yes, sir. I'm giving it all away.
Some blood sugar sex magic.
Absolutely. God, yes. Man, dude, that slaps, bro.
Like Will Smith.
Yes. But I ain't Chris Rock. So I would have fought that motherfucker. Yeah. I'm sorry, bro. The street me would have kicked in. I would have fought. I'm like, Chris Rock, you get a round of applause for maintaining.
Yeah.
For taking the high road, because I would have been Anakin, because I would not have the high ground. Okay.
But honestly, it's almost funnier because he didn't really react to it.
Right? He said, "Oh wow,
yeah.
Will Smith slapped the shit out of me."
Yeah, and all I could do was smile because alopecia sounds like a name.
Yeah, right.
Disease.
G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny. His punk ass was laughing at first. I'm like, know it's funny, Will. But anywho, we talking about Sinners today. Shout outs to Ryan Coogler, man. If you guys didn't know, this is his 5th feature. He did Fruitvale Station with Michael B. Great film, which kind of kicked off both their film journeys, really. I mean, Michael B. had been in stuff before, but it was mostly TV, some small roles in movies, but Fruitvale was what really...
Wait, when did Fruitvale come out?
I think it's 2013.
Oh, really?
13 or 14. 13, I think.
So that's what got him the role in Fantastic Four, the Josh Trank version.
Yeah.
Which, I have to say... As a comic book fan, I really enjoyed that film, even though it was garbage.
Joe, everyone hated it. I never even watched it.
I enjoyed Miles Teller.
I love Miles Teller. That's what I was like, bro. Miles and Michael. I kind of want to
Jamie. What's his name? Some British dude.
Who did he play?
He was the Thing.
Well, I have no idea. Wait, Jamie. It's not Jamie Bell, is it?
Jamie Bell, yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah, he is.
I love Jamie Bell.
The cast is amazing. Yeah. Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, Jamie Bell.
Wow, that is a good cast. Who plays the chick?
Oh my God, she was in The Shootist with Mark Wahlberg. Kate Mara.
Oh, okay.
She was like the worst one of the cast. Yeah,
I'm like the other 3 are great.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the other. It was an incredible cast, and I knew what they were trying to do because I think at the time Fox was trying to tie it into the X-Men movies.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I I still think Michael B. Jordan was a great Johnny Storm.
All right, good. I mean, maybe one day I'll have to go watch it.
Yeah, it's
Actually, I love Jamie Bell.
Yeah, great. 3 great actors in it. I mean, there's more than 3 great actors in it.
Yeah, but
the main 3,
leads, yeah. Yeah, they did Fruitvale, and then we got Creed, which one of the best Rocky movies by far.
Yeah.
Creed was incredible. And then of course we got Black Panther, which kind of changed the world.
Actually, it did, yeah.
Yeah, it changed the game. You know, they got Best Picture nom, dude. Made $1 billion. And then you got Wakanda Forever, which given the circumstances, great. Yeah, we saw it. Yeah, we went and saw it. Given the circumstances, having your lead, not only your lead who everyone fucking loves, just die on you. So
and you killed off the only other guy that
the only other guy. Yeah. So it's like so for me to he's like, okay, this is not what I was planning to do. But for him to take that situation and still give us what we got in Wakanda Forever, bro, this guy's a genius. And now we got Sinners, which I think kind of just solidified that. I'm gonna just be honest right now. This movie, bro, I'm not the same person after seeing this film. I've watched this film a lot, and I'm not gonna say how many times because it's embarrassing. But just know we're on our way to the substance.
And our regular listeners know how many times
I've seen the substance a lot, guys, a lot. And fuck, I'm gonna probably see this movie more. Let's give it some stats before we jump into some shit.
Yeah, and let's say it came out
about 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. Yeah,
2 weeks. So it's brand spanking new, but for me, it feels old because I've seen it. So I'm like, let's recast. You're like, it's brand new. I'm like, that's all good.
It came out 2 weeks ago.
I'm like, bro, it's like 2 years ago. I'm like, but we got some stats. Okay, so this movie's doing gangbusters, blockbuster critics and audiences. I don't think we've seen them all match this close in a while.
Really?
Bro, weekend 2, 5% drop off in box office.
Or is that it?
Yeah.
It's usually like
hasn't been done since 2009 in Avatar.
Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
So I'm like, the word of mouth is just blowing this shit up, bro. Like, everybody who hasn't seen it now, they're like, bro, I feel like I'm like left outside, bro. I'm like, they're feeling like the fucking vampires. They can't get in. You know, they gotta get invited.
No one's inviting.
Nobody's inviting them. It's like,
dude, you came in and out all fucking day.
All fucking night, bro. Why do you big ass nigga? You can't push through us.
Yeah, Delroy Lindo.
Dude, Delroy Lindo is great. We'll get in these. We'll get in this shit. Sorry. So Rotten Tomatoes, it was sitting at 100 for a while, but we're only at 98%.
Wow.
Crazy.
Well, you know, I'm sure there's some people who look like me that might review bomb it.
There's definitely. I've heard a couple, but you know what? Shockingly enough, I've heard some people that you would think wouldn't like this film actually say there was things they liked about it. Of course, they had their complaints, but they're like, overall, you know what? It was good.
I think anyway, we're going to talk about it. Never mind.
IMDb 8.2. Fantastic score. Letterboxd, it just dropped off yesterday. It was at a 4.3. Now we're at a 4.2. But that's okay. Because that's still a great score. So we got our first great movie of the year. You know, I liked Companion a lot. I thought that was a great film. I love Sophie Thatcher. Mickey 17, I watched that.
Oh, yeah, how was that?
That's good. It's a fun time. Robert Pattinson does a good job.
And your guy directed it.
Yeah. Bong Joon, the GOAT. Yeah. And you know what I actually really liked that you should probably watch, and you're going to be shocked at how good it is. I ain't saying it's great, but it's way better than I thought. Novocaine. Jack Quaid.
I do like Jack Quaid.
He's giving a pretty good.
Yeah, you know, he's my guy.
I did like it. I was like, this is way better than I expected it to be. It was funny. It had some good action. It was a decent little story.
I'm eagerly awaiting the last season of The Boys.
Oh, man, aren't we all?
Yeah.
I'm like, let's go. I'm sad it's over.
Yeah.
We're almost over. So, Sinners, man. So first things first. Before we even get into this movie, what it's about, man, this movie's personal to a lot of people, black people in particular. This is a black story. It's a black movie through and through, and it's unapologetically black.
Yeah.
And I love that about it because we haven't gotten an unapologetically black movie this good in a while.
Since Black Panther.
Black Panther, really, yeah.
Yeah, if you think about
Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler's the only one who'll do it.
As far as like, let's say, culturally shaking the foundation, kind of thing. Because I know there have been other films,
of course,
yeah.
But Ryan Coogler now, at this point, his movies are an event.
Yes,
his next movie,
his name means something.
Yes, it does. Yeah, yes, he's. Nolan helped him with this.
Yeah, I heard with the IMAX cameras. Yeah,
and I'm like, bro, we might have the Black Nolan coming up, man. Like, for real. Like,
yeah, that's a great thing, though.
Hell yeah. If somebody want to call me the Black Nolan, I'm cool with that. Ryan Coogler in this movie, he made me realize I probably should never direct a movie because I'll never make one as good as this. The attention to detail, the amount of research that was done, and me listening to reviews and people talk about it, people who are from the area or who are historians or whatever who are confirming the research and how accurate a lot of this stuff was, just made me respect this dude a whole lot more. Because, man, the one thing, people are taking this film in so many different ways. And I think that's the best part of it. Because no one's viewing experience is the same. Everyone who watches it doesn't really matter what race you are. Everyone who watches it takes something different way. I've heard multiple Black people talk about it, and they all kind of have different takes on what it meant, what he meant with this thing or that thing, and of course, you got some who are thinking very extreme one way or very extreme the other. I fall right in the middle. I'm quite a neutral guy in most situations. I'm very neutral in this film. I do think there's certain things he wanted to highlight, but a lot of people, they think some stuff. I don't particularly feel that way, but that is okay because this movie doesn't tell you how to think and feel.
Yeah.
He doesn't tell you.
He just presents
facts.
He
presents facts. Yeah. He presents facts. He presents the story, and he lets you make up your mind how you feel about the characters, how you feel about what they're doing. What side would you want to be on, whether you agree or disagree? Because I guarantee there's some people watch this like, you know what, I might ride with them vamps. I know there's some people watching and thought that. Yeah. Like, you know what, man? I can live forever, stay the age I'm at. I ain't got to deal with this Jim Crow bullshit. You know what? I'm sure there's people thought like that.
You're a gamer, right?
Yeah, I game.
So a couple weeks ago, this game actually just came out in the beginning of April. Mm-hmm. It's called South of Midnight.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of this. Haven't played it.
Yeah, Douglas showed Felicia and I, like 2 weeks ago, he was showing it to us. Some of the stuff in this film kind of reminded me of it.
I have to play
what
South
he showed
of Midnight.
us. Yeah.
Oh, after South of Midnight up.
Yeah, I mean, it takes place during, like, after, like, a hurricane or something, but some of the stuff that they go into, and especially how this movie started, that's how this game starts. It's almost like a storybook.
Mm-hmm,
and it's telling you, a little bit of the history of this, like, area in the South.
Yeah.
And I guess, is it Haints? Is that what Annie kept calling the
Haints. Haint.
Yes, mm-hmm. Haints. It goes into, like, Haints and what they are in this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching this film, like, did I just see this like a week or two ago?
Right? You're like, what's happening? I mean, it's funny how life connects that way, right?
Yes,
because obviously he was making this movie, they were making that game way before, but they happen to come out at the same time, and they have some. It's just funny how life works that way sometimes. But yeah, the Haints, you a Haint. I actually, I thought it was cool how I included, because I heard that word before when I was a kid. Because it's in African folklore. And, it kind of just means like an evil spirit or whatever. Yeah. And I thought it was cool. He incorporated some cool, like he brought up hoodoo, which is different from voodoo.
It is.
It's so, God, the research done in this is nuts. So since you brought it up, let's get into it. So like he said, the movie starts like a storybook, and they kind of go into, the storybook is kind of a quick, brief description on how music works for the mind, body, and spirit.
Yes.
And how it can be a positive, a negative, whatever. But how music can kind of break through everything.
Yeah.
And break through all barriers and attract all walks of life and stuff like that. Because this movie, it ain't a vampire movie. It's a fucking music movie.
It is.
It's a music movie. Yeah, everyone's like, it's a vampire flick. It's a horror flick. I'm like, it's not a horror flick. It's not a vampire flick.
It is about... It's literally about music saving someone's life.
Absolutely.
That's actually what the movie is.
That's what it is. It's like music.
If anyone asks you, that's what it is.
That's a great one sentence you can say. It's like music will break through all barriers.
music will break through.
Yeah, man. So
there's a silver lining.
there is the silver lining. Yes, it is, man. Oh my god, this shit is wild. So you get this storybook, and it's really cool. And I thought it was a cool way to open up the movie because it kind of lets you know right away like what you're getting in for. But that won't prepare you for what you're about.
No, because you're seeing like a historical drama of brothers returning to where they're from after they've been up north.
Mm-hmm. And that's in the first hour, you're like, oh, okay, this is just.
It's like one day.
It's one day. Yes. That's why I love one day movies.
Yes, it's one day.
I love films that take place in one day. And
that's why I hate 3 Days of the Condor.
Because it's 3 fucking days.
I know, come on.
Or 6 days, 7 nights.
Yeah.
Fucking Harrison Ford back in the day.
Yeah.
Get that crap out of here.
Yeah.
1 day and 1 night.
That's it. You know Anne Heche doesn't want you.
Right? You know it, right? Rest in peace.
Oh, yes.
Was she down a car accident or something?
Yeah, something terrible.
Was she on drugs?
She might have been, I think, at the time. But because
she crashed herself, right?
I think she did, yeah.
Rest in peace. She was a pretty lady back in the day. She is. Never mind. I was about to go all off. All right. Anywho, so
we'll have an Anne Heche retrospective.
Yeah, guys. We'll do an Anne Heche.
yeah. We'll do Gus Van Zant's
No one asked for that, but
yeah.
People are like, that's what we needed. the video we never knew we needed.
But you know what? If we actually went over some of her like better roles, people would probably realize that she really was.
She was decent. Yeah, she was
really good. There was a reason Ellen. Were they married at one point?
They was hitting.
Yeah, so there's a reason why Ellen was attracted to her.
Yeah, I mean,
so
she was pretty.
Yeah.
So we get, this has been a recurring theme in our lives. Movies starting at the end.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So this movie starts at the end, and guys, all right, this is your last warning to get out before we ruin this shit for you, because you gonna be pissed if you ain't see this movie and you listen to this video. Now, if you don't want to watch the movie, you just want to hear somebody talk about it, then keep listening.
Yeah.
But go see it and come back, because you gonna want to hear what we got to say. So, Preacher Boy, Sammy Moore.
Yes.
We start out with him. Preacher Boy. He's really the protagonist of the film.
He is, because it revolves around his love of music and his dad, who's a preacher, not wanting him to do music.
Yeah.
Or if he does music, just do it for the church.
For the church, yes. And so it's like, I want you only performing the gospel.
Yeah, and Sammy's like, I perform the blues in bars for people who actually want to hear what I want to do.
That's what I do, baby.
Yeah.
And, and this movie ties in a lot of stuff, because Christianity obviously is something that Black people were taught back then. Christianity wasn't something that Black people brought over from the continent. No, this was something that was taught to them.
And really quick, that's how you get like Santeria, like a mix of like Christianity / Catholicism with the more African religions.
Yep.
And a lot of those saints. Anyway, that's going a little deep.
Yeah, but I mean, but this movie does take it there, because it does highlight on how
it's like Annie.
Yes. Annie is definitely not a Christian.
Yeah,
so
or she might be, because I think it was a thing too. Like on Sunday, you were a Christian, but you would do the other stuff every other day.
Yeah, I don't
you know what I mean.
See, she definitely was religious. I think she believed in God, because she did say she prayed, but I don't know if she believed in Christianity per se. I don't know if she believed in Jesus. I don't know. She don't specify.
Yeah.
But based on all her little witchy shit, her little hoodoo and all that, I don't know. That don't seem Christ-like.
Yeah, but see, you would have both, and that's the weird thing about. Like, I'll say white Christians, being white and Catholic.
I'm like, but you ain't a Christian though, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Catholicism started Christianity. So,
yeah.
But say that to some Christians, they'd have a heart attack. Yeah. But, they incorporate both. So, like, the older traditions of, like, cleaning your house, you would, that would still be a part of it. Yet you would still read your Bible, and go to church and stuff. You would do these things like the more natural religious things, because that's sort of what Annie was like. Because she'd given him that
the mojo bag.
Yeah, the mojo bag and everything.
Yeah, she was. So, she has some shit going on. We'll get to her. We'll get to Annie in a second. But we got Preacher Boy standing in the church, holding the neck of a guitar, not the whole thing.
And his face
has got 3 long Wolverine-looking scratches on his face, bro. And, you're like, okay, shit, is this shit about to go crazy right now or what?
Yeah, I honestly didn't know.
Yeah, and I was like, but then I quickly realized, I was like, I think this is where it ends. So we start at the ending, and Sammy's dad is like, boy, come on in here. Come on the house of God. Get rid of that shit, that devil shit, because he believes the blues music is devil's music. Yes. He believes that music attracts evil.
Yeah, because he says something really good.
You go dancing with the devil at night, he gonna follow you home.
Yeah, that's what
yes. That's what he says. But so he does not believe in that music. He don't believe in them drinking and dancing and doing all the stuff they do down at these juke joints. He thinks that's all sin and wrong. But in reality, this whole movie is called Sinners because everybody in it sins.
Yes.
And, you got this black preacher who believes in these white institutions that were taught to him.
Yeah.
And so much so to the point where that is his life. And he wants that to be his family's life. And Sammy's like, bro, that's not what the fuck I want. Like, I come here, I play for you, I attend the church on Sundays, out of love and respect, you're my father. But his dream is to go off and be a blues musician.
Yeah, because he even said, like, I work all week.
I work all week.
One day off.
One day. That's just like, I just want one day.
Because they're sharecroppers.
Yep, sharecroppers.
Yes.
Which, basically indentured servitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I didn't realize that's probably where, like, wooden nickels came from.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I was like, yo, this got to be where this started. That's what I was like. I was learning shit watching this movie. I was like, there's some shit I didn't quite know. Like, I knew a lot of it, but I was like, I was just connecting dots. But so it's 1932, Mississippi. Not a good time to be a black dude or woman. Jim Crow laws are all through the South. You got to watch what you do. You got to watch where you go. You got to watch who you speak to, how you look at people, how you react to certain people. You got to. I couldn't imagine being alive in this time. I just couldn't, especially with my modern man mind. I would, some white dude, hey boy, who the fuck you talking to? You know what I mean? I get shot fast. I wouldn't last long.
Would you get shot in the ass? Or would you get shot?
Please shoot me, not the knee, bro. Shoot me in the ass, bro. I'll take the ass over the knee. That's mostly, just meat.
Yeah.
You shoot me through the knee, now I gotta get my whole knee replaced or some shit, which knee replacements I don't think
back then.
I'm like, when was the first knee replacement? Probably in the 70s or 80s?
It's probably maybe the 60s.
Yeah, I was like, that's got to be very new, like within the last 60 to 70 years. Because I'm like, man, because they're still figuring shit out with
that's why it's called medical practice.
Yeah, it's like, listen, this ain't guaranteed. I'm trying some
that's
shit
why
out.
You need to sign this waiver.
Yeah, I'm trying some shit out. But so Sammy's like, listen, Dad, look, I'll be back in the morning. I'm gonna go with cousins.
Oh yeah, because this is the beginning starts on.
Oh yeah,
and then we go back.
Yeah, we go back. We go back to the beginning of the day before. So you see Sammy, he's all fucked up, but then we jump, and like you said, we see him sharecropping.
Yeah,
he goes. You see him, he fucks with his mom, and he chats with everybody, and they're all like, "Oh, Sammy, we gonna hear you. You gonna tell us where you playing? We gonna have to hear it through the grapevine." He's like, "I'll see y'all later." Grapevine it is. But Sammy goes, he hollers at his dad. He's like, "Yeah, bro." He's like, "Yo, Pop, I'll be back tomorrow for church. Bright and early. I have my dress shoes on. What's good?"
Oh yeah, because he does that scene where his dad wants him to read from Corinthians, and he's reading it. He just closes the Bible and keeps going.
Yep, he's like,
"Look, I know this.
I know it. I read this shit all the time, Dad. I can fucking recite this shit blindfolded with one eye, one mouth. Oh man," he's like, "I hadn't heard enough." So he's like, "Dad, I just want to go play some music for the night." His cousins are coming to pick him up. Big cousins, Smoke, Stack.
Yes. What is their name? Elias
and Elijah.
Yes.
Yep. Those are their Elias and Elijah Moore, Sammy Moore. So these guys are cousins through their fathers.
Yeah.
So they have the same last name. And they come pick him up, and Smoking Stack in dual roles, twin characters played by Michael B. Jordan. And they pull up in this nice car, and Sammy comes out, and he's like, I'm hopping in. And he's like, his dad's like, boy, you better be careful. And they're like, don't worry, we bring him back in one piece.
Yeah.
Which he did make it back in one piece.
He did. His guitar did.
The guitar did not, you know. And so he hops in the back, and we see Smoking Stack. Smoking Stack are twin brothers. And no. Scratch that. My bad. First, we see Smoking Stack buying the mill. So Smoking Stack. Yes, so this is very important. We can't skip this. Smoking Stack, they just got back from Chicago. 7 years they were gone. They're World War I veterans. And they were working for Al Capone up north, which is kind of cool. Fun little storyline to roll with. But you can see right away, these two dudes, they're not dudes to be fucked with.
Yes,
They talk to whoever they want, however they want, no matter what color you are. They do what they want. They're dressed really nice. They got some nice suits on. Stack wears red, Smoke wears blue. You can tell in their hats. I think that was just, a trick so you can tell them
like
apart.
A tie.
And a tie, yeah. It was just a trick to tell them apart.
And I think the vest they wore with the suit was the same color also. Yeah.
So I think Michael B was good enough to where I didn't really need a color. But whatever, that's fine.
Some people need it.
Some people need it.
Because you got to play to the lowest common denominator.
You do, because not everybody watches movies like us, so they don't pick up on certain things or whatever, and that's fine. Because a lot of people went and saw this movie that don't watch movies like that.
Yeah.
The box office says it. So.
Yes, yeah.
But I heard some people like, man, I ain't been in movies in 5 years. I'm like, damn. Really? But they're like, yeah, but I went because of COVID too. Yeah. But I'm like, man, the movie's been back open for a while. But so they're at this big, big mill, and it's huge, and they want to buy it from this white guy. And back then, I just couldn't imagine two black dudes walking up to some white dude, handing him a sack full of cash, and him just honestly giving them a piece of property. I ain't see no documents signed.
Yeah, nothing.
I ain't see no notaries. I ain't see nothing. I ain't no contracts, nothing. It's just like a handshake. I'm like, I'm gonna need more than that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need something more than a promissory note too. I'm like, shit. Because they gave him, I've got at least 20 grand.
It had to.
That was a fat sack. It was heavy.
And look, 20 grand and 32.
Oh my God, you caking.
Yeah.
That's dope. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hell, dude, the little girl got hype. He was going to give her 10 cents a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then he upped it to 20.
Yeah. And she was like, I'm like, man, you would have thought he gave her a hundo or something. Like, shit. Oh my God, 20 cents. I'm like, 20 cents probably buy you some eggs, milk.
Yeah, back then.
Back then.
Yeah.
Shit, 20 cents now. Can't even get a gumball.
Yeah, that's true.
You need another nickel. But hell, they're probably 50 cents now. But
that's because they're imported. Yeah. So the tariffs affected the gumball market. That's the problem.
The gumball market.
Yeah, look, think about the International House of Pancakes. Every price probably went up.
It's all international. Yeah. Everything. The syrup's important. But so they're having a conversation with this guy, and they're asking him some questions, which you probably won't think about, especially on your first watch. But they're asking him like, what was on the floor? You cleaned it up? And they're like, yeah. And he's like, what was on it? And he doesn't answer.
He just spits on the floor. He just
spits on the floor, which I'll be like, you better clean that shit up or I'll slap your ass across this place. You think I'm going to buy this bitch if your fucking gross ass just spit on it? Whatever. So he's like, all right, boys, the more I'm spending time with you, the more I'm thinking y'all ain't serious about this place. And he's like, they're like, who the fuck you calling boy? I don't see no boys here, only grown men.
Yeah.
With grown man money and grown man bullets. And I'm like, okay, these two motherfuckers don't play. They talking to this white dude like, what's good? Because this white dude, he flashed his little piece and shit. Smoke flashed his, and Stack, he carries a brass knuckle knife. Yeah. He ain't really a gun guy. And I'm like, listen, bro, these two dudes fuck your ass up. You better chill. I'm like, ain't none of your friends here to save you, bro. Yeah. I'm like, these are veterans. Like, they can shoot. They younger, faster, stronger. Your ass is cooked. So, and it's two of them. So you're fucked. But they're like, listen, here's the money. Take it. You ain't getting another dime from us. And if we see you and your KKK buddies cross our property line, we gonna kill them right where the fuck they stand. And he's like, boys, the Klan is over, bro. That shit's done. I'm like, bro, Klan is still going on now, bro.
Yeah,
What the
yeah.
hell? This shit ain't over.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, okay.
Especially in 32, because what caused the resurgence of it was, unfortunately, Birth of a Nation.
Birth of a Nation.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Griffith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
W.D. Griffith. Or
What?
D.W.
D.W., yep.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because it's my initials. But I'm like, okay. So, yeah, man, that movie's crazy, bro. That's a movie right there.
Yeah. I assume you've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to watch it in film class, actually.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
My teacher was like, listen, I'm showing you this for specific reasons.
Because
there's a lot of filmmaking techniques in it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of...
And it's like a 3-hour movie.
It's long, yeah. Like, it's long, but there's a lot of firsts done in it.
Yeah, and especially for that time period, films weren't that long.
They weren't epic. Yeah, I was like, that was an epic film. It was fucked up, but like...
And it looks like the Klan have plungers on their head. Doesn't it?
Yes. Oh my God.
So you can't help but laugh at them. Or the white guys with like the brown
blackface. Yeah, I'm like, the blackface in it is insane. I'm like, it's actually kind of funny if you. It would be funny to watch it now. Like, watching it now would be kind of comical because, like, you know, we're so past this stuff. But
yeah, but you're right. It's kind of like Gone with the Wind. A lot of it is incredibly offensive, but when you look at like that crane shot,
I'm like,
that's the one thing I think about is that crane shot of the hospital area.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of great filmmaking techniques in both of those movies.
Yeah.
Do I particularly like both of those movies? Gone with the Wind isn't a bad movie. It's all right. It's too long, but it's
I didn't think you'd give a damn.
It's long as fuck, but it
has an intermission.
It needs it. Shit. Yeah. You gotta go take a shit during that.
I don't know nothing about wiping no ass.
So
actually, I do.
Oh yeah, you know all about it. Sadly, you're a pro, bro.
Sadly, that's all I do now.
Yeah, somebody got to do it. Your job is somebody got to do it.
That's true.
You're doing the Lord's work.
That's right.
Know, or maybe,
that's right. Every time
or
I do
the devil's
it,
work.
Lord.
Oh Lord. They're like, oh, thank God. Anyway, so he gives them the keys. They got the sawmill. So then they go scoop up Preacher Boy. And Preacher Boy and them, they take a ride. And on this ride, they have a conversation about Chicago. And he's like, man, y'all was up in Chicago. And I heard it's dope up there. They got Jim Crow up there. Yeah. He said, man, black man can be free. He said, who told you that bullshit? Me and your cousin, we gonna give it to you straight. Chicago ain't nothing but big buildings instead of plantations. So it's the same fucking thing. And I'm like, man, that's crazy. But that was America at the time. You know? It's like, yeah, you could be up north. You might have more rights, but that don't mean you're going to get treated any better. You know, so you might be able to go a few more places, but I know there was still some segregation in the north in some parts.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
sadly.
Yeah, so I'm like, you know what I mean? You still got your coloreds only water fountains and bathrooms and shit. But he's like, damn, you know, he looked a little discouraged, but he's like, don't worry. We're going to have some fun tonight. And, you know, Preacher Boy's got his guitar on him, and it's this very distinct looking guitar. I don't know much about guitar, so I'm not going to act like I do. But it's this old acoustic guitar. It's got that. It's one of those ones that got those big metal circles behind the strings. I don't know what that's called. You know what that's called?
I don't.
I mean, any of you music people out there, comment below. Let us know what kind of guitar that is.
Yeah,
if you know.
It's great for blues.
Yes, I'm like, you see a lot of blues guys play them. Like I've seen, you know, blues guys play them all the time. They look cool. They sound incredible.
Yeah, they do.
Like, dude, Preacher Boy's guitar playing. A1, and he actually is singing and playing in this movie, which is very impressive and incredible. I was like, this kid is fucking talented. So they pull up, they go out to kind of like, I guess, the woods, and they hid their truck.
Yeah.
And they put a bunch of leaves and shit over it, you know, very old school cartoon, Looney Tune style, hiding. But where else the hell are you going to hide in 1932?
Yeah, that's their camouflage.
It was camo. So, hey, they did a good job. Nobody found it.
Yeah, that's true.
So while they're in Chicago, they made some money. They stole it, but they made it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
They stole some money. They stole some booze. They had Irish beer and Italian wine. They stole the stuff, and
So
they had
they
it.
steal it from?
We know who they got it from.
The Irish mob and the Italian mob.
They went and stole some things. So they get the truck, and you see a snake pop out the back, and the two brothers look at it, and they look at each other, they look at the snake. And this is how you can tell these two dudes are inseparable, because they don't have to speak to each other. They know exactly what one's going to do. And they see the snake. Stack tosses Smoke his knife. Smoke quickly snaps a steak in the head, and they grab it, throw it on the ground. The way they did it, though, was so smooth and slick. I think Coogler included that scene just to show you how connected these two are, and how they don't need to speak.
The synergy between the two of them.
I'm like, Michael B's chemistry with Michael C is incredible. Like Michael C and Michael B. Jordan. It's
wait, shouldn't it be like Parker. Michael A?
Michael A. Like,
so it's like A and B.
A and B. Well, B came first, so we're gonna give him Michael C.
True. Michael A. Jordan's probably the best.
Yeah, he's a ball player. Yeah, Jumpman. Yeah, he ain't in this movie. but it's like Peter B. Parker.
Yes.
So, but they get the truck and they're like, man, bro. He's like, that motherfucker held us up, bro. Like, we may not be able to open tonight because their whole thing, the sawmill, is going to be a juke joint. And for those who don't know what a juke joint is, back in the day, it was essentially a nightclub for black people. They played the blues music.
If anyone hasn't seen The Color Purple.
Yes. That's the, it's funny you brought that up because I was like, what was the last good juke joint movie I could think of where you actually like see it popping? And I was like, probably The Color Purple.
Yes.
And they do a good job with it in that movie too.
I'm thinking of the Spielberg version.
Yeah, Spielberg. Did they already remake it?
Yeah, they did a couple years ago, the musical version.
That's right. Because who was in it? Taraji P. and wasn't she in it? It was a bunch of like heavyweight black actresses.
Yeah, the one woman.
One chick from Orange is the New Black was in it.
Yeah, I think she's also in Peacemaker. The one who was in from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, I remember that one. I totally forgot. That came out. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm thinking of Whoopi Goldberg, bro.
Steven Spielberg. I mean, come on,
Spielberg, bro. I'm thinking of Whoopi Goldberg.
Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, Danny
Glover should have got an Oscar nom for that one.
Yeah,
but the juke joint. That's what it is. It's a black nightclub. Drink, gamble, smoke, live out your sinning ways. Because all during the day they in the fields. They still, it's 1932. We still picking cotton, y'all.
Yeah.
Don't think that's over.
Yeah, they show that in the beginning. That's what they're doing.
We still picking cotton.
Yeah.
Because it's indentured servitude.
Yeah.
And these people, when slavery ended, they had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
They had no money. So the white folks was like, well, come on back and work for a small.
So how about no acres and no mules? We'll pay you a little bit.
We got a couple of nickels on you for you. Make sure y'all got some water and y'all be all right. So, I mean, you're pretty much still 3/5 of a man at this point.
Yeah, actually, unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, I mean, So, that's like as a historical listen, we don't get too racial on this channel. I mean, but this is a race movie. Race exists. Thank God it's 2025. Me and this man can sit across from each other and talk about this shit and laugh about it.
Yeah. And
it just shows you how far we've come in a very, very small amount of time. We still got a long, long way to go. But God damn it, y'all, we can't say we made some big steps. So, shout outs to the world for catching up a little bit. Give yourself a round of applause.
Yay, world.
Yay, world. So these guys are like, yo, we ain't gonna be able to open up tonight unless we split up. So Smoke's like, all right, I'm gonna go handle the food situation, the drink situation. Y'all take the car and y'all go recruit the rest of the team. So this is Avengers Assemble.
Yeah,
that's what it turns into.
And Smoke and Stack are both Nick Fury.
They're both Nick Fury. Yeah, Nick Fury cloned himself. Yeah, it's time to assemble the band. So we got our first recruit, which was Sammy. And Sammy's job is to play this blues music. And so we keep hearing up until this point, we keep hearing how great this kid is with blues. We ain't heard him play yet.
Oh, yeah, this is where he starts playing in the car.
So they're in the whip, and Michael B is Stack. Let me call him, because these are two different characters. So Stack is and let me talk about them real quick. Smoke and Stack, although twins, I love the way they wrote them, because a lot of times in movies when you have twins, one is so extreme and the other one is polar opposite, so you can tell them apart.
Yeah.
They didn't do that in this movie. Smoke and Stack have their differences, absolutely. They're two different guys, but they are cut from the same cloth very much. Like, they think the same for the most part. They act similar. They love the shit out of each other. And these two, they didn't rely on over-the-top antics to show you these guys were twins. Just let the story tell you they were. So they're in the car, Stack and Sammy, and Sammy's in the front seat riding shotgun, and they're talking about driving, and he tells him, Stack tells him that guitar is from a famous blues player. I think he said it was Charlie something. I can't remember who he said. And he's like, for real, thanks. Spoiler alert, this motherfucker's lying.
Yeah.
It's not from him, but we'll tell you who it's from later. And he's like, man, this thing just plays so right. It just feels so right. He's like, boy, let me hear you play that thing. And boy, he starts playing. And when I first heard, I was like, whoa, this kid's good. And he is killing it. And bro, Stack's eyes just open. He's like, whoop. He's like, hell yeah, we're going to make some money tonight. Because, these two, all they see is dollar signs, bro.
Yeah.
So he's like, we going to make some bread. So you see their little interaction in the car. They're having fun time playing. Stack is definitely the more fun one.
Yes.
He's a little more open-minded.
Yeah, Smoke is more business.
Yes, Smoke is very business, Smoke is like, your dad that makes sure you are in the house when you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Stack's the mom that'll let you stay out till 10.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, so that's how they are. But their relationship works so great that way. You need that push-pull, the yin and yang. And so we see our man Smoke, though, pulling to town. And the beauty about this scene here is you see the town is segregated. Across the street is a white side, and you have the black side on the other side of the street. The stores on the white side are all nice, and they look all good. Not that the stores on the black side look bad, but they ain't look as good as the nice side.
Yeah.
And Smokes pulls up, he parks his car, or the truck, which has got all the booze in it. And he's got to go holler at the Chinese homies. So he grabs this little...
yeah, he does, yeah.
He grabs this little light-skinned girl, and he's like, can you tell time? She's like, yeah. He's like, all right, listen. I'm going to give you 10 cents to watch my truck. Every minute I'm going, I'm going to give you 10 cents. You see anybody trying to fuck with this truck, wail on this here horn. And he's like, that's okay? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, no, it's not okay. He said, see, you just went with the first number. Numbers.
You really did watch this movie.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Numbers got to be in conversation with each other.
Yeah.
Right? And so he's like, you need to learn how to negotiate. So he teaches her how to negotiate. They get it up to 20 cents a minute. So he goes in. He hollers at his Asian homie. You get first things first, all right? The Asians are great because apparently there were Asians in that area who did run shops and stores back then. Because I was like, man, was it Asians just cruising around down here back then? Apparently they were. So you got some of the most black-scented, hood, southern-sounding Asian people I've ever seen. Bro, he comes in, he talks to the daughter. He's like, hey, your dad home? She said, Daddy? I was like, yo, that's the hoodest shit of my life. I started cracking up. I was like, what the fuck? And her dad come out. He's basically like, what's good, nigga?
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't say that, but he might as well have.
That's like one of the funniest lines I've ever heard in any movie. Is in Rush Hour 2 when Jackie Chan says,
what's up, my nigga?
No, he's like, I'm going to bitch slap you back to Africa.
Back to Africa. I will bitch slap you back to Africa. Their chemistry was great in the second one. Oh, yeah. Man. That's funny. Well, bitch slap you back to Africa. That shit's funny. Tied up. And they're like, start shaking it. Like, because they can't move, bro.
Yeah.
He's out, bite your nose off right now. Funny as hell. Great film. So the dude comes out. He's like, what's good, bro? He's like, yo. He's like, I need some stuff for you. I need all this shit. He's like, damn, how you paying for this? Pulls out a fat stack of dough. He's like, right away, sir. So, I mean, hey, money talks, bullshit walks. So let's keep it real. So he's like, yeah, bro. He's like, all right, bet. He's like, I'm going to need all this stuff. He's like, yeah, when you need this by tonight. He's like, tonight? He's like, yeah, we having a party, bro. Y'all want to come through and work? And he's like, shit, yeah. He's like, I need a sign too. And while this is happening, we hear the horn go off.
Yeah.
And Smoke's like, shit, hold up, buddy. Be right back. He goes outside, and the little girl The dudes are in the back of the truck. They don't even realize Smoke's coming. They're in the back of the truck going through. Smoke shoots one of the motherfuckers right through the ass cheeks. He said, God damn it. And he's like, he turns around, he's like, Smoke? He said, Terry? I started cracking. I was like, this is so black. It's not even funny. I started cracking. I'm like, this shit happens in the hood all the time. I'm like, this is so black. It's great. He's like, Terry, he's like, man, I didn't know he was back in town. He's like, I didn't notice. He said, he's looking at you trying to rob me. He said, I didn't notice your truck. She said, bullshit. I told you. He said, I thought she was lying. He said, you're supposed to be working for Capone. And he's like, yeah, we back now. He was like, how you doing though? He's like, I was doing good till you shot me in the ass. And the other dude, it was two dudes. The other dude tried to run, and he said, motherfucker, this bullet will catch you way before where you going. Yeah. So the dude freezes, and he's like, basically like, look, bro. He's like, all right. He's like, well, go get patched up. He's like, I ain't got no money. He's like, so he shoots the other dude.
Yeah, because he can't
the knee.
Away.
Yep. He was like, damn, he's what you done for. He's like, bro, ain't no way I'm about to let motherfuckers think they tried to rob the Stout Brothers without at least having a limp to show for it. So he's like, good job, little girl. You know, she earned her money. Good job. Now everybody know they back in town. Yeah. Now you didn't alert the press. So
yeah, word of mouth.
Word of mouth for real. Yeah. So he goes back in. And he's like, bro, what the fuck? He's like, yo, it's a couple niggas I shot outside. They gonna need patching up. He's like, yeah, we take care of that, no problem, bro. He's just counting cash out. And he's like, yo, I need that sign. And he's like, girl, go get your mama. And I'm like, God, these Asians are fucking hood, man. I love it.
Okay, so that scene, right? Do you think, did that remind you of like a PTA scene of the girl walking?
Yes.
And then
the track shot?
Yes.
Absolutely. It reminded me of like, PTA meets like kind of Sam Mendes, kind of I was a lot in this movie was influenced by a lot, and you can see it all over. And Coogler wears his influences on his sleeves, which I love. Like the influences, he throws them in your face. The message isn't thrown in your face, but the influences are.
Yeah,
like the From Dusk Till Dawn references, the thing, like so much. Hell, the reason Snack wears that vest is because of the dude from Dusk Till Dawn. Because From Dusk Till Dawn. This is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Was that like Danny Trejo?
Yes, it was. So yeah, there's a lot of Easter eggs in this film. But so he's like, the mom comes over and she just as hood. You know what I mean? I love it. You know, but you can see the difference from her side of the street, where her store that she ran was on the white side. Yeah. And then the daughter and the dad were on the black side. And like, the white side looked all bright and shiny. She comes over to the dark side. It felt like Anakin Skywalker. Yeah. So she comes in and she's like, oh, what you doing here, boy? She's like, looks like two gentlemen shot in the street. He said, yeah, I shot them niggas. It's all good. I already paid for them to get patched up. He's like, but I need a sign. She said, $20. She was like, $20, $15 for the sign, $5 for the menu. He said, $10. $7 for the sign, $3 for the menu. She said, $15, $12 for the fucking sign, or $12 for the sign, $3 for the menu. And they going back and forth. They come to an agreement, but the only color they have is red. So he does get the sign reduced. Plus, he gets some flowers that are in the shop, which is going to be important. So he negotiates with them. They come to a deal. Cool. They're going to provide the food, which he has to now go and get the chef to cook it. And they're going to make the sign in the menu. So he gets the flowers. And fuck it, we'll just stick with Stack's narrative for now, and then we can go play with our Smoke's narrative. We can go play with Stack and Sammy. Okay. So Smoke then goes to see a grave. Yes. His child who died. I'm guessing sudden infant death syndrome.
Or in childbirth. Yeah, one of those. Because it was a baby.
Yeah. Which is sad because his mother died in childbirth, which they allude to that later.
Yeah, they do say.
We'll talk about that when we get back to the Stack storyline, because he does explain it. So we see him put these flowers on his grave, and he's like, Daddy's here. And I'm like, oh, shit. He a kid? Damn. And you see this woman come out of the house where the grave is near, and this ain't Zendaya. This ain't Kerry Washington. This ain't the typical women you would see in a black role in a black movie like this. This ain't no light-skinned chick. We get a full-figure, voluptuous, dark-skinned, beautiful black woman come out. And I knew right away. I was like, bro, that's probably his chick. And a lot of people were like, I couldn't believe it. And,
Really?
I get it because you don't usually see that in a film. But I'm like, this is Ryan Coogler. He's going to be time accurate.
Yeah, but also, like, she looks like a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but you know how a lot of people are like, you just don't see women like this playing the love interest of a guy like Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, that's true.
In a $100 million movie. You know, if it was up to the studio, they'd be like, bro,
where's Halle Berry?
Where the light skin John said.
Yeah.
He was like, no, and
we need to make it more palatable for the audience.
Yes, and I love that Ryan Coogler got her.
She's an amazing actress.
She's my favorite character. And
really?
Yep, she was my favorite character in the movie.
Not even Sammy.
I love Sammy too. Probably, honestly, every main character is great.
Yeah.
My two favorites.
That's why I said, as great as Michael B. Jordan is in this film, he isn't the best actor in the film. And that's the weird thing. He's amazing in it. I'm saying that, but everyone is so good in this film that it almost.
You're right, dude.
Yeah, it almost puts. It's not that because like I said, he's really good. It's just everyone else.
I think what it is we know good. Michael B is good. So we knew he was going to be good. Seeing these faces we don't see all the time, give those good. Performances, yes, it kind of shocks you.
And so you know what? He probably elevated.
Oh, yeah. I think when these guys got the offer for the movie, and they knew it was Ryan Coogler and Michael B, they locked in. They said, I'm going to know this script better than I know my social security number. You know what I mean? They're like, I'm coming with the accent. I'm coming with everything. Like
that has to be what happened because everyone is so fucking good. And Delroy Lindo, even if he phoned it in, he's always good.
No, he didn't phone it in on this.
No, I'm just saying, even if he would have.
And you would expect that from, older actors at this point.
Like, look,
hey, it's a check for them.
Yeah, and, and he already has a name.
He has a name. He's already rich. He's fine. He's like, hey, it's a check. But I think he knew, man, we got something on our hands here. Like, he probably read that script and was like, I ain't never been in a movie like this in my life.
Was that one dude from The Blind Side or something? I forget. What was he in? The bouncer at the door.
Cornbread.
Yeah,
he's
what was he in before?
He was in 8 Mile. He was in that show Ballers. He was in he's always played like character roles. Oh, let's see what
because I've seen him before.
He's in shit.
Yeah.
8 Mile was the only thing I could think of him. I think he was in Get Rich or Die Trying too. His name's Omar Benson Miller.
Oh,
he was in Ballers, 8 Mile, CSI, Get Rich or Die Trying.
CSI, that's what I've seen because a lot of residents watch CSI.
He's in a Richard Gere movie called Shall We Dance?
Oh my God.
You seen that?
Probably.
It looks bad. The cover looks horrible. He's a voice for one of the turtles and like one of the newer Ninja Turtles adaptations. Really? He's actually got quite a few film credits. Wow. He's just never like a lead, you know what I mean? He's not a recognizable name. He's got some voice acting credits too though. But he'll be known for this now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I had to take a shit too.
Yeah. Probably that fish sandwich gave it that old ass grease.
Yeah.
He said, I don't use no old ass grease. I was like, that's one of the blackest conversations ever. I love it. So we'll get to him. We'll get to him in a minute. Yeah. So he sees Annie and Annie comes out, and Annie's this beautiful, full-figured woman. And I was like, I think this is his love interest. And if it is, that is fucking tight because you don't see this often. And I'm like, this would be time appropriate. This is what his woman would likely look like in 1932 Mississippi.
Birds of Prey. Mm-hmm. I forget her name. Smollett who played
she was
Black
in
Canary.
Black Canary, yeah. She was in Lovecraft.
Yeah. She was in Lovecraft. This one played her sister in Lovecraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
They look nothing alike.
No, not at all.
Funny enough.
But I think that's why they did it because of the way the storyline is in Lovecraft.
Funny enough, Smollett played Michael B. Jordan's love interest in Friday Night Lights.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Funny enough.
And she was in Eve's Bayou.
She was in Eve's Bayou. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Fucking Sam Jackson.
Yeah.
Evil.
Yes.
There was Lynn Winfield, right?
Yeah.
She was hot back in the day.
Look, she was in was she in the Josephine Baker story?
Yes, she was.
Yes.
Dude, my mom loves that. Yeah. I've seen that quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, because you see a lot of her.
Yeah, she do. She was looking good, man.
Yeah.
My mom used to always watch that and Introducing Dorothy Dandridge.
Oh, Halle Berry.
Halle Berry, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
She looking good in that. But, so, Annie, Stack comes up to Annie, and you can tell right away something happened here.
Yes, yeah.
Something not good. And they shoot the shit a little bit. You see some kids come through and pay her for some of her concoctions, potions, whatever it is. Some of the shit she makes for whatever reason it is. Clearly she makes stuff for spirits or whatever, man. You know, she's like a witch doctor. I don't know.
Yeah, kind of, but for whatever that would be in that area.
I'm sure she's well versed on different. I don't even know what the fucking right word is. Y'all can fill us in the comments if y'all are versed on this shit. But she talks about hoodoo magic, and she's into all kinds of spirits and roots, and because she talks. So all right, so she gave Smoke. Sorry, she gave Smoke a necklace, and it's a bag. She called it a mojo bag, and I believe she said there was roots and some other shit in it. I don't know what the fuck was in it, but basically she was like, this bag has kept you safe through World War I, through you motherfuckers doing God knows what in Chicago, which I know y'all was up there doing dirt.
Yeah.
She's like, the fact that you're standing in front of me, 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and a brain that works, I know what I was doing was working. I was praying for you. You know, I gave you the bag. And then Smoke reveals, well, why didn't that work on our daughter?
Yeah.
And I was like, that punched me in the side. I was like, how you going to say that to her?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, it's the last thing this one want to hear, bro. I'm like, this is like, and I get it. Y'all are both, I know it's been 7 years, but y'all are both still grieving.
Yeah.
Clearly, neither one of them have gotten over this, and clearly neither one of them have gotten over each other. And they have some words exchange, and she gives him a hard time because she knows he's been he gave her a hard time.
Well, she did it first.
She did it first. She did make the first move, but forewarning, guys, this movie's very sensual in some scenes, man. And there's some dialogue later that I was like, my ears were like, did I hear that right? Okay. So Annie and Smoke, they were together. They're married. That's her husband. And they're still very much in love. And they share a moment where she sticks her tongue deep into Michael B. Jordan's ear and grabs on her. And they start getting intimate.
Yeah, they do.
And I know she was excited. She was probably like, she read that script, was like, I get to do this Michael B. Yeah, no problem. I'll do this movie. $10,000 on this movie for cheap.
Yeah.
No, but no, they have a hot little scene, and it's like, these are 2 people you wouldn't think you'd ever see together in a movie, but I loved it. It was beautiful. I love that scene, and I thought Annie was playing this character probably too good, bro. She is incredible in this film. But the whole point of him going to see Annie was to visit his daughter and to ask her to cook for them at the Juke.
Yes.
And she agrees. So we jump over to Stack and Sammy. They got some runs to make, okay? And they're going to visit Delta Slim. And on the way there, Stack is telling Sammy, he's giving him a detailed description on how to eat pussy. And it's fucking hilarious. But what he was telling him wasn't bad advice. I was like, listen, any young kids who ain't done the deed yet, listen to this. His advice isn't bad. You know, not too hard, not too soft, you know. All right, look, I got it in quotes. We'll talk about it later. So they go see Delta Slim at the train station. Delta Slim is a drunk, but he's an incredible blues player. He can play harmonica, he can play the piano, and he's playing harmonica, collecting money, you know, just doing his thing. They drop some money in his hat, and Preacher Boy standing there with his guitar. He's like, man, Delta Slim, you're the man. And they're like, oh, man. He's like, oh, Looks like the wind blew y'all black asses back from Chicago. And Delroy Lindo is the comic relief of this film, which was perfect for him. He's 72 years old, dude.
Really?
He looks great, right? I was like, damn, he's looking good. I was like,
I mean, he looks older, but not like
72. That's what I was like, yeah, because I'm like, bro, I remember him in Malcolm X, and that was like, what, 90? And 91? 93?
I would just say 92, 93.
93. It's 93.
Yeah.
I'm like, 93. I'm like, man, motherfucking Delroy Lindo was already like 40-something in that movie. So
because that would have been 32 years
ago. Yeah, so I'm like, shit, he's still kicking. So I think the first thing...
He always looked older.
He did always look a little older, but now... It's like you kind of just look the same for the last 30, 40 years.
Kind of like Sam Jackson is in his 70s too, right?
He's always looked older. Like if you watch an old Sam Jackson movie, he looked older, but he don't look that much different now, though. Yeah. So it's like, I'll take looking older when I'm younger if I'm going to look that way forever. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take that. But so.
Wait, Wilford Brimley?
Not that. Not that.
Going back.
He didn't look older. He looked old. You know, that motherfucker looked ancient. I'm like, Wilford Brimley. You're like, this guy is 49? I thought this dude was 80. I'm like, what the hell? Insane, bro. Insane. Talk about Benjamin Button, bro. For real. But
it was the diabetes.
It was the diabetes. Because if you have diabetes.
That's what you're into.
Yeah. So Wilford Brimley, so Delroy Lindo, Delta Slim, he's they make him an offer. It's chill, bro.
Wouldn't that be great? That's the perfect recast.
It is the perfect, right?
Delta Slim, Wilford Brimley.
Wilford Brimley come in playing the blues. Playing the blues, bro. Wilford Brimley, recast of the year. So they Stack's like, what's good, old timer? He's like, you still good on them keys? He's like, shit, some people think so. And he's like, bro, listen, I give you $20, you come play our juke tonight. He said, ain't nobody playing your juke, ain't nobody ever heard of your shit. I'm going to play at the whatever place, because they've been there for 10 years, and they're gonna be there 10 more years after that. I play there every Saturday night. He's like, yeah, you paying $20 tonight, but you can't guarantee that forever. And I'm like, this man cares about job security.
Yeah.
Like, so he's like, all right. He's like, all right, I hear you, buddy. He's like, so he's like, I got a bad blues man right here. And he's like, yeah. He's like, let me show you. He's about to start playing. He's like, boy, don't you play that guitar? This is my motherfucking area. And he's like, they got a little back and forth. It's funny. But he pulls out a beer, an Irish beer. Yeah. Stack does. He's like, what's that? What you got there, boy? He's like, oh, this is Irish beer. He said, that's beer. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, here, try it. And he takes a sip. He's like, oh, God damn. He's like, what the hell is this? He said, I got 500 more bottles of that. He's like, fuck it. I'll give you $40 tonight. And all the Irish beer you can drink, you come play our juke tonight. Man, you saw them boys, they started playing. They was having fun. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm guessing that was a yes. I'm like, they started playing. Sammy's playing guitar. He's playing harmonica. People are gathering around. And I'm like, wow, man, it's incredible how two dudes on the streets can grab two instruments and make something so special. It's just crazy. Then we see Haley Steinfeld Mary, played by Haley Steinfeld.
Yes.
Preacher Boy informs Stack that there's a white girl looking at you. He said, oh, shit. He knew who it was. Oh, yeah. He knew. Yeah. He didn't even see her, but he knew. He was like, you sure she white? Should be cracking up. He's like, yeah, bro, I'm sure she coming over here right now. I'm like, oh, shit. He's like, you just go over there. You keep playing. And so Mary approaches Stack, and she said, oh, is this Smoke? Or is this Stack? And I'm like, okay, Haley, you got a little nigga sauce on you for this. I'm like, yo, I don't lie, she reminded me of a white girl that hangs out with black people.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, she got a little sauce on her. And she's like, I buried my mom. Thought I see you and Smoke there. He's like, yeah, sorry. She's like, as much as she did for you, he said, well, he says some mean things to her. He's like, all she was, food and warm bed. She's like, oh yeah, that's what it is. He was lying to her. Yeah. He doesn't want people to see her with him. because she's white passing.
Yes.
But we find out that she is an eighth black, which Haley Steinfeld herself is an eighth black.
Oh, okay.
Didn't know that until now. So she's basically like, look.
And back then it was the one drop rule.
One drop. Yes. I'm glad you brought that up because it's very, very big. The one drop rule was very bad. I did some research on that after I watched it. I was like, yo, this shit was really serious. One drop shit. I'm like, wow, they really do not want to dilute the race.
No.
You need that pure whiteness or it ain't going to be right.
Bronzer is okay.
Yes.
Bronzer is fine.
That is A-okay. But you can't actually get it.
Yeah.
So she's basically like, bro, you know I loved you. You know I wanted to be with you. And he's like, look, I set you up. We got you a rich white dude.
Yeah.
You're married. She said, I didn't want him.
Yeah.
I didn't want that. I wanted you. He said, but I told you to stay the fuck away from me. And she says one of my favorite lines in the movie. She said, well, yeah, I heard you loud and clear, but then you stuck your tongue in my coos and fucked me so hard, I thought you changed your mind. I was like, yo, when I heard her say that, this was me. Haley Steinfeld, this is not True Grit no more.
Yeah,
I was like,
this isn't Hawkeye
this
either.
Isn't Hawkeye. This ain't Bumblebee. This ain't none of that.
Oh my God,
Edge of 17. This ain't none of that.
Oh my God, those movies where the girls sing.
Pitch Perfect.
Yeah, this ain't Perfect
2 or 3. Yeah, this is different. I was like, stuck your tongue in coos. I was like, oh man, I was like, I ain't heard the word coos. I know they still use that word.
Well, 32.
32. I was like, oh yeah, it's 1932. Coos was fashionable then.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. And you learn their dynamic that clearly they were in love, but because of the times and the way he looks and she looks, they can't be together.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people have their opinions about their relationship and their union. I actually thought it was beautiful, and we'll get there at some point. And I know a lot of other black people would disagree with me, and that's fine. We don't have to agree.
I think it was kind of a bloody mess.
It was a bloody mess for sure, but we'll get there. So he's basically like, yo, get up on out of here. Go on now, you can get both of us killed.
Yeah,
and he's trying to protect her. And he's being an asshole about it because he thinks that'll keep her away, which it won't. This woman is persistent. This is definitely the type of chick, if she wants something, she gonna go fucking get it.
Yeah.
So, which...
Because she seems like well off.
Yeah. They said her husband was rich.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
They said her husband was rich. So she was like, she gonna go slum with the poor black dude or you gonna go be with the rich white dude? She says, shit, I want to be poor. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right. And that's saying a lot in that time period. You got security, money, safety, freedom. But in her eyes, she wasn't free.
Yeah.
Because her being with that white dude, that was enslavement to her.
Yeah.
But it sounds like Stack helped set that up in one way or another.
And this whole film is about freedom or the lack thereof.
Absolutely. That's to me, that's the big overarching theme is freedom. Because everybody's definition of it is going to be different.
Because Sammy wanted freedom through music.
Through music, yep.
Yeah.
Mary wanted freedom through love.
Yeah.
Stack and Smoke wanted freedom through financial gain.
Yeah.
Annie wanted freedom through love as well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a big part of it is gone. So, I mean, Annie's so rare.
Freedom in the end.
In the end, yes. But I like the whole, and I'm glad what happened to Annie happened to him because the whole time Annie just, to me, felt like, I'm just here.
Yeah, because she couldn't get over that loss.
Get over that loss.
Yeah,
She's like, I'm here to function for everyone else. What I want doesn't fucking matter because it's gone and it'll never come back. So, yeah, unfortunately. So they're like, all right, we got Delta Slim. Let's go ahead, keep making our rounds. So now they're in the car with Delta Slim. They're driving to go see Cornbread.
Yeah.
But on this drive, they drive past a chain gang. And Slim knows a bunch of these guys, and he knows all. He's like, oh, you know some of them dudes? I know all of them.
Yeah.
He was like, what's up, Slim? He's like, what's good, y'all? And he's saying all the shit, and then the dudes were like, hey, get your ass back down there, boy. And I'm like, damn, Slim, sure you get these motherfuckers killed.
Yeah.
But Slim tells this depressing story about how him and his buddies, they ended up playing this beautiful blues music for these white folks, and they got this money for it. And his friend was like, you know what, I'm getting out of here. He takes all his money, buys a $2 train ticket. They catch him with the money. They beat him, kill him, lie, say that he killed a white man for the money and raped his wife, which is not true. And Delta, this movie's so powerful, and it shows you how music can heal, because Delta can't finish the story. And what does he do? He just breaks out in song.
Yeah.
And it's like that's all he could do. It's like that's all he knew. It's the only thing he knew how to cope with the things he is dealt with and seen.
Well, isn't that the blues?
That's the blues.
If you think about it.
Yeah, that's the blues. It's depressing music. And he's like, he couldn't even finish the story. He just had to break out in song. And I'm like, damn, man, like, I just couldn't imagine fucking being around back then to have these real life stories. I don't have any stories to tell about any of my friends getting fucking lynched. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't have that. And I appreciate my ancestors for doing the things they did to afford me that privilege. So thank you guys. So they go and they pick up Cornbread. And Cornbread, he's also picking cotton.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, these motherfuckers are still picking cotton. I'm like, 1990 is only 60 days away, 60 years away. You know, the 90s is when I was born. And I'm like, if you would have told me to pick some fucking cotton, I would have slapped you.
Yeah.
But whatever. So Cornbread's with his wife. They're picking cotton in the field. And they pull up. And he's like, oh, what's good, Stack? I ain't seen you in a minute there, fella. And he's like, what's good, Cornbread? I see your big ugly ass still out here picking cotton. And he's like, well, it's my wife. He's like, how you doing, man? And he's like, yo, he's like, he starts talking shit. He was like, yeah, he's like, hey, why don't you get out this bullshit? Come fuck with us, bro. Quit bullshit. And he's like, oh, be respectful. That's my wife there. He said, well, fuck your wife too. And he's like, bro, I'm about to whoop your ass. What you say? He said, fuck. He made, I haven't in quotes. He basically was like, she gonna fuck you so good after this money I paid. Yeah. She might even let you put your pecker in her mouth. I'm like, Ryan Coogler, bro, you was right. I was like, he was acting a fool. And he's like, bro, I'm gonna kill you. The wife was like, shut up, motherfucker. How much you paying?
Yeah.
He's like, he said, that's a good woman. So he rolls with them. And they got the band now.
Yeah.
You know, we got the band. And, all at the same time, train station, Preacher Boy meets Pearline, a married woman, a very attractive married woman that he is very interested in. And he's like, yo, come down to the juke. She's like, maybe. Clearly, she wasn't happy in her marriage. She was definitely liking the idea of this young guy flirting with her. And she was easily supposed to be like 6 or 7 years older than fucking Preacher Boy. You know, she was supposed to be older than him.
And that dress was nice.
Ooh, it was. She was Pearline.
She wore that dress.
She wore the fuck out that dress. I'm like, we got Haley Steinfeld in this movie, and she might not be the best looking girl in here.
No, because when Pearline turned around, that's when I was like,
you were like, God damn.
Yeah, I was like, that's a nice dress.
That's a nice dress. Bro, when she shows up at the juke, I was like, yeah, I feel you, Preacher Boy. He was like, God damn. But so he got the crew. Smoke's got Annie. They got the food and the drink. Stack's got the boys and the music and the security. And the Asians are coming down to help out with everything.
Yeah, because they're painting the sign.
They're painting the sign. It's time to get shit popping, bro. We start partying. And the juke starts booming off. And one thing, though, is they have a little dispute right at the beginning because a patron comes in and he wants corn whiskey because they tell him, like, we got Irish beer, Italian wine, corn whiskey. He said, oh, y'all some fancy niggas. He's like, corn whiskey is just fine for me. Yeah. I'm like, oh, corn whiskey is fucking nasty, but whatever. And they're like, yeah, he said that'd be 50 cents. He's like, all right, well, I got 30. And here go these 2 wooden nickel joints. And it's like, Smoke's like, the fuck? And Stack's like, you like that cold, don't you? And he's like, yes, sir. He's like, here you go. And Smoke's like, let me holler at y'all for a minute. He said, this ain't no motherfucking charity. This ain't no giveaway. We ain't taking no wooden chips and none of that bullshit. We taking cash, U.S. motherfucking dollars.
Yeah.
And Stack and Annie are like, listen, dude. You gotta be patient at first.
Yeah.
The money's not gonna come right away. But this is for them. This nigga been working the field all day, busting his ass all week.
Yeah.
Just to get to today. This is the highlight of his week. Just tonight. That dude needs to be served a cold glass. And Smoke's like, and Annie's like, bro, he's right. You made this for the community. This is what they get paid in.
Yeah, this is the community.
This is what these motherfuckers get paid in. That's all. He's like, that motherfucker, he was like, that dude busts his ass off from little wooden coins, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, just gonna take them and we'll figure it out. And they're like, okay, but this doesn't work out because the money's not coming in the way it's supposed to be because...
But you're right. It is the first night.
It's the first night.
So how are you?
It's never going to be great the first night.
Yeah.
Like, it's never going to be great the first night. But people start pulling up, man. And they start having a good time. The Asians are there. They got the food popping, the music popping. People are drinking.
Now, right before this happened.
Yeah, I was getting there.
Okay.
I was about to continue. Yep, no, I was about to get there. So, but you pretty much perfect time to segue it though. So shit looks like it's going good, and boom, we see the homie Ramek.
Is that his name?
Yeah, Ramek. See a guy walking. Seemingly looks like he crawled out the desert. He's smoking.
Yeah.
And I ain't talking about a cigarette.
No, like his body looks like, he just like falls out of the sky.
It looks like he fell out of the damn sky smoking. His body is literally smoking because he's still out in the sun.
Yes.
Because the sun is going down, but it ain't set.
And he's being chased by
Choctaw. Yeah, Choctaw Native Americans. Yeah, indigenous, whatever you want to call them. We'll just call them natives. These natives are hunting him down. They're vampire hunters.
Yeah. And
spoiler alert, this is a vampire movie, kind of. It's not a vampire movie. It's a vampire with metaphors or something to represent something bigger.
Well, kind of, because if you think about we just did the Book of Clarence a couple weeks ago, and the Romans...
Yeah, they were
oppressive,
British.
were white.
Yeah, they were white British. Yeah.
So I understand if he's using... the vampires is a metaphor.
Just a metaphor for something else. Yeah.
Like, was white supremacy?
Yes, white supremacy, Jim Crow. It was all of that tied into one.
Because you saw when they let him in the house, there were those huge crows with the Indians, and they stayed at the house.
Yes, they did. And I caught that. I'm glad you caught that because I heard no one else catch that.
Really?
I was,
they were on the roof. They were huge.
They were huge. I was like, wow, look at them fucking things.
Yeah.
I've heard nobody else talk about that. Yep.
Wow.
They were there, and I'm like, yep. And like I said, I think, just like you said, I think it was supposed to be the vampires represented white supremacy, Jim Crow, racism as a whole. Everything tied into one.
Because he saw what was on the table in that house, and he knew they would let him in.
He knew they would let him in.
Yeah.
After he's like, because he knew they were Klansmen.
Yeah.
The people. So he walks up. So Ramek, he's Irish, and he walks up to these people's house, and he's like, hey, guys, I'm smoking. There's some these Indians around here. They're trying to kill me. I need some help.
No, there ain't
no Indians around here. You sure it wasn't no fair-skinned niggers?
Yeah.
And he's like, that's what he said.
Yeah, that is what he said. Yeah.
I started cracking up. I'm like,
yeah, like, but Indians are dark.
Yeah, I'm like, there's some Indians that get dark. I'm like,
they have like Blackfoot Indians.
Yes, Blackfoot. Yeah, I'm like, there's some Indians that were dark.
Chickasaw.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
He said, you sure it wasn't no fair-skinned niggers? Like, he had the like the white supremacy voice, like redneck and southern like racist white dude
like
voice.
He should have been storming the Capitol.
He did.
He had the robe for it.
He had the robe for sure. And they got this dude at gunpoint, and he's like, listen, he's like, bro, I got money. And they're like, what the hell? It's like, this is gold. He's like, I got plenty of that. And they're like, well, shit, come on in, fella.
He's like, they stole the rest.
They stole the rest, but not this.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't got no shirt on. He looking all fucked up.
Yeah.
He's like, they're like, well, come on in, fella. And so they go in, and then the vampire hunters pull up and knock on the door, and the chick answers, the wife or whatever. Now, this dude here, I'll tell you this now, but it's not revealed for a little bit. The guy's house he pulled up to is the nephew of the guy who sold him the sawmill.
Yes.
So
he was the grand
he lied.
dragon.
He's a grand dragon. He lied. The clan is very much alive and kicking.
Yes.
And so he knew. He was like, oh, these fucking fuckers. Because Ramek's not racist.
No.
He's a vampire, and that's his race. He's like, I don't give a shit what you are.
Yeah, he doesn't discriminate.
He doesn't. He sure don't.
As long as you look like a meal,
look like you can be eaten. Yep.
Yeah,
and if you ride with me, we ride. And so So Ramek comes in, and the chick comes to the door, and the natives are like, "Ma'am, did a guy come up here?" And she's like, "No, nobody came." He's like, "You sure?" He knows already.
Yeah, is he in the house?
Is he in the house? No, he ain't in here. Ma'am, if he's in the house, we really need to get him out right now. I really hope you didn't invite him in. No, it's all good. He's all right, we're fine, bitch. See him.
Yeah, because the sun was going down.
The sun was going down. He's like, well, I ain't got time. These motherfuckers about to be out here lurking.
Yeah.
So I tried peace, and he's probably like, fuck you, white lady. You know what I mean? I tried to help your ass, but you want to be dumb. He knew they was clan too.
Yeah.
So she comes back in the house. Andrew's gone, sweethearts. Well, you guys, man, she come in. Her fucking husband's laid out on the floor, blood all over. Squirt.
This is a very bloody film.
It's a bloody film, and it's only bloody for like an hour, so it's a lot of blood in 1 hour.
Yes.
And she's like, "What the fuck?" She said, "Oh, he just resting." And I was like, "Oh God!" And she's like, "Oh, obviously they turned her." Yeah, she started screaming. They turn her. Fine. So. We got that. So that's how we set up the vamps.
Yeah.
So we know, so you see that this guy is a vamp. And the guy who plays Ramek, his name is Jack O'Connell. Absolutely incredible performance.
He was great.
He was great.
What else has he been in?
Dude, like nothing big. I know he was in that British show Skins from like the late 2000s or mid 2000s. Like I really couldn't pick out any movies he was in. Yeah. I was like, bro, I don't know if I really know this dude. He's in some shit. But so we're at the juke, right? And people start pulling up, man. It's starting to pop. Perlene pulls up. And Preacher Boy's like, oh shit, you came. What's good? And she's like, so how you know the twins? And he's like, they my cousins. She said, oh, y'all must be play cousins. And he's like, no, bro, my dad is their dad's brother, bro. She's like, y'all blood cousins? She's like, because she's shocked because she's like, you just seem like such a nice boy, such a nice young boy. And he's like, I ain't that nice and I ain't that young either. And I was like, yeah, Preacher Boy, tell her what's good. Yeah. I'm like, listen, I've been in that situation where I was hollering at an older John. And she's like, oh, but you're so young. I'm like, I don't act young. And sometimes you got to hit him with the cunning linguist to show him what's good.
Damn.
But,
hey now.
So
that's why I'm an English major.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So she pulls up. They start having a good time. Mary pulls up and she walks to the door and Cornbread's like, oh, hold on, sweetheart. He said, man, you might be in the wrong place. She said, Cornbread, that's how you gonna do me? He was like,
Miss
little Mary?
Yeah.
And she was like, ain't so little no more. He's probably like, God damn, you grew the fuck up. She was like, well, come on in, feller. So she goes in and Preacher Boy spots her first. And he's like, look, hey, I don't know if you should be here. The twins, I don't think they want you here. And she was like, boy, if you don't get the fuck out of my way. I'm like, yo, this white chick, this ain't your average white chick. I'm like, she definitely grew up around black people, the way she talking and acting. And he's like, ma'am, I'm their little cousin. She's like, little Sammy? She said, oh shit, you old enough to drink? Let me buy you a drink.
Yeah.
And so that kind of breaks the ice. And then Smoke comes up. And she's like, damn, Smoke. She's like, all the shit my mom did for you, I thought you at least send flowers. He said, shit, we sent plenty of flowers. All she was alive to smell them. Yeah. And I was like, that was the line. And basically, she's like, where's Stack? He's like, oh, that motherfucker, you doing his thing. Stack comes out. He's like, bro, what are you doing here? I thought I told you don't pull up.
Yeah.
And she was like, bro, you ain't about to get rid of me that easy. You just gonna act like what we had was fake and I don't love you. He's like, listen, woman, obviously I care about you, but you got to go.
Especially now that she's married to another dude.
Yeah. He's like, bro, you got a dude. Go back to Arkansas, do your thing, wherever the fuck. And she's like, I didn't want none of that. He was like, he said, how much is it gonna cost to get you out of here? She said, you can't pay me off. He's like, fine, I'll pay one of these field bitches here to whoop your ass. Bro, that line had me cracking up. I'm like, he called them field bitches. I was like, my God.
I think he said to drag your ass
out. Yeah. And she was like, I'll beat every bitch in here ass. I was like, Haley Steinfeld, you better. You taught me how to fight. I was like, he might have taught you how to fight. Bro, I was like, Annie, come over here and wipe the floor with you, girl. You better
That's
quit
true,
playing,
yeah.
bro. I was like, she'd get her ass whooped in this shit. I'm like, look, you're like, Haley Steinfeld, you about 120 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, delicate little flower. I don't know. So he's basically like, oh, all right, you twisted my arm, hang out. And of course, he likes her, he loves her.
Oh, of
so they
course.
start having fun. And bro, the parties start booming. And we get possibly one of the coolest, best edited, shot, original, creative music sequences I've seen maybe ever. We get Preacher Boy gives a performance, and it's a blues performance. But what it is it shows you how blues is transcended through the past, present, and future. And you get this crazy scene where you see the old school, the present, and then you see where blues is going, how it's influenced all these other genres of music through rock, metal, hip hop, funk, all of it. And basically it's telling you the blues, anything you like now, the blues is the roots for it.
Yeah.
And you get all these different people dressed differently, but it fucking works for some reason.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The music's
that,
blended.
Like, salt and pepper
yeah, dude, yeah. Like, you got the dude turning on the tape.
Yeah, I was thinking of Andre.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, yo, he's the man. He was turning the tables, and they're like, and he's like giving Sammy a shout out, like hip hop style, yo. He's like, we got Preacher Boy. And I'm like, this is so fucking cool. I was like, who wrote this? I was like, Coogler, if you thought of this, Coogler, bro, you something else. I was like, this is crazy.
I've always said, like, popular music started with Scott Joplin and ragtime.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went to, like, jazz and blues. From there. And it's like, so he's exactly right.
He did his fucking homework for sure. Because, man, and it even goes into like now you got the hip hop part where like bitches were twerking, and I was like, yo, he got twerking here, but then he had like the Asian influence in there because he had the Asian characters and they were dancing. And it was cool because everyone was dancing in between what the patrons were doing. Like you had Grace, the Asian chick behind the bar, serving drinks, but you had people like dancing around her, but she never broke what she was doing.
Yeah.
It's honestly, you have to just see. I hope
it is the best scene.
It's the best scene in the film. It is like it's the best scene in the film. It's not my favorite. It's my second favorite scene. Maybe my third, but it's the best scene in the film
because it's really what the film's about.
It's what it's about. The past, present, and future of music, and how music has divided us and binded us, and brought us closer and drifted us apart. And God, it's fucking brilliant. But so we get this scene, and that music, it attracts.
Yes,
it attracts the vamps.
Yeah, because he says something about it, doesn't he?
Who, Ramick?
Yeah.
Well, he says a lot about it.
Well, but they talk about the music. Oh, from the very beginning, they say something about how.
Yep. He was like, wow. He's like, I heard the music. So this is when the movie starts to pick up, honestly. Because I know we've been chatting. This is when the fucking movie starts right now.
Yeah.
Bro, Ramick and the homies come up. The KKK guys and Ramick, they pull up. They got the little fiddles and banjos and whatever the fuck they playing. Yeah. And a lot of people, I heard a lot of mixed things on the music that they provided. A lot of people liked it.
It's actually not bad.
I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I liked it. I'm not into that.
Yeah, it's not my cup of tea. Yeah, they were good at doing it.
They were good at doing it. I was like, hey, I was vibing with them. I was like, hey, you know what I'm like, go ahead, do your thing. And I'm like, there was the song they play later when they get them all. I thought that shit was dope when they're doing the like jig or the river dancer. That shit was dope. I was like, yo, this shit fire, bro.
Yeah.
But they pull up and they're like, hey, how y'all doing, fellers? He's like, man, we heard that music. We sure are hungry. We like to drink. We got money to spend. Can we come in and play some music with you, fellers? And they're like, it's a lot of white bars in town. That y'all can do that. He said, oh, it's because we're this, huh? I was like, dude, Jack O'Connell, I'm like, I don't really even know you, dude, but you're killing this role. And they're basically like, listen. He's like, no, we don't need none of that. He's like, no, we ain't about that racist shit. They're like, we just like music. We just want to play. And Sammy comes to the door and he's like, you're that voice I heard, right?
Yeah.
God, you are talented. You can see right away they want Sammy. That's who they want.
Yeah.
They can give a fuck less about everybody. Everybody else is a bonus. But if they get Sammy, that's what he wants. And in my opinion, and a lot of others, some people may take it differently. Him wanting Sammy was the appropriation of culture, in my opinion.
Okay.
That's how I looked at it. Like, I want to steal this from you. I want to take this from you guys. This is something you guys love and cherish. I want to take it and make it my own.
Yeah, because he wanted Sammy's
abilities, talents, his voice.
Yeah, because if he would turn him, he would get that.
He would get that, and then because they have a hive mindset.
Yeah. And then he would be able to, because he says later something about, like, he hasn't seen his people for centuries.
Because I'm like, I think Ramek's supposed to be like 1,000 plus.
Yeah.
Because, vampires don't age. So I'm like, he's supposed to at least be like 1,100, 1,200 years old or something. Because then obviously he talks about how the English came and took his land and they fucked the Irish, just like, he's like, they fucked us just like they fucked y'all.
Yeah.
And they go into a whole thing. They play a little song for him, and it's funny because like most of the black people were kind of standing like, "Yo, what the fuck?" But Stack, if you look at Stack's kind of vibe to it a little bit. I'm like, you know what? I was like, I love Stack. I was like, I know a lot of people didn't like Stack,
really,
because they felt like a lot of people Stack represented evil.
Really?
Yeah.
Stack.
Yeah, Stack. And I was like,
I love
Stack, not Smoke. Because a lot of people felt like in the end, Smoke was the one who did the right thing. He didn't become a vampire. He didn't succumb to the ways. But I'm like, it's not like exactly. So I'm like, Stack didn't ask to be a vampire.
Now, do you think that's because of the color choice that Coogler chose for him?
Absolutely. And I don't mean his clothing.
Yeah. No. I'm talking about his clothing.
Well, I mean, you could be associated with evil. I think a lot of people thought that Stack was evil because he chose to be with a white girl.
Oh, okay.
But in that time period,
it is a color choice.
That's why I was like color choice, but not in clothing.
Yeah.
Now that's just a theory. I'll get into my opinions on Stack and Mary because I differ from them.
Red is usually evil
and bad. Blue is like a light or peace or calm or whatever. Yeah. Yes. And I think that was intentional too, because whether you know the movie or not, one of the motherfuckers is gonna turn. And as you watch it, you're like, it would make a lot more sense if Stack turned over Smoke, because Smoke was the leader. So the leader can't turn. So the Stack had to turn if one of them did. So they're like, yeah, guys, we're playing this funky fiddle. And they're like, yeah, that was cool and everything. We still ain't letting y'all in. Take y'all ass up the road. They're like, well, we walk real slow just in case you change your mind. And so they come back in because they're like, they see Mary and they're like, why she get to come in?
Yeah.
And they're like, because she family. And he's like, oh, because we're, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying? That shit is funny as hell, bro. I'm like, that shit is hilarious. So they start walking down the road doing their thing. And so Mary and Stack, they start having a conversation because Smoke shows Stack the books. And he's like, bro,
see that
this
number?
is our take. You see that number? See that number? He said, that number is real money. And that number is all that other bullshit.
Yeah.
Shit, it's not. It's going worse than they thought. They definitely thought it was going to go a little bit better. So Stack's like confiding in Mary, like, fuck, dude, we're kind of getting fucked in the ass on the money front. Because he's like, bro, if it goes like this, we'll be flat broke in 2 months. So they're like, we got some money. And Mary's like, what about them white motherfuckers out there? He's like, they said they have money. He's like, you think they was for real? She's like, well. He's like, well, let me go talk to him. She said, you ain't going to talk to him. She's like, they'll listen to me before they listen to you, which I heard somebody say this in a review I watched, and I actually thought this was interesting. They were like, she shouldn't have went, nor should Smoke or any other black people. They're like, the one person they would have maybe listened to would have been the Asian guy. And I was like, he probably would have got through to him the most. They don't want to hear from a woman. Yeah. Well, the vampires are different. They think differently. But thinking these are regular white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It would have made more sense. Like the Asian guy will probably be the one that can, because they were kind of the middle ground.
Yes.
Because the Asians they can fuck with the blacks and they can fuck with the whites.
Yeah.
So As
evidenced by them having two
different stores. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, when I heard that, I was like, that's pretty good observation there. But so Mary's dumbass, Stag gives her his gun. And not that she was dumb. Mary was so caught up in her love for Stack and wanting to be with Stack. She was willing to do anything to get, to break his walls down and get her to, take her back. So she takes his gun. She goes outside like, man. And this is a trope in movies that black people have noticed that white folks like to go explore when you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's true. I mean, look, that's how colonialism started.
Yeah, right? You found something.
Yeah. What's this called again? Great, I found it.
I found it. It's a name here. It's people. I found it. It's mine now. Finders keepers.
Yeah,
But in horror movies especially, white folks love to peek around the corner.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I'm standing my black ass in the back. I'm not peeking around no corners. I don't want to talk to no demons, no nothing. I'm gonna just sit back here and chill.
I've seen a thing going around how. I forget what movie it was, but LL Cool J was apparently the first black guy to survive like a horror movie.
Halloween H2O.
Is that what it was?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah. It was shocking.
Yeah.
Because they tease that he's dead halfway through it. And then you think he's dead and then he's not.
Wow.
I was like, I saw that in theaters actually. I believe it was 99 or 2000.
It would have been 98.
98.
H2O would have been 20 years.
Yep, you're right. So it was 98. I saw that in theaters and we were all like, damn, he died. Of course the black guy died. And then we're like, wait, no, he's alive. So he was the first black dude to break past that barrier.
Yeah.
And it sucks because the main dude from Night of the Living Dead, like, he was incredible. He lives in the whole movie and gets spoiler alert, he gets fucking killed then by the humans.
Yeah, but it's from 1968. Is it really a spoiler?
No, it's not. But I mean, yeah, you're right. This movie's older than both of us.
Yeah. It's like, wait a second.
Right? Like, shit. But yeah, it sucks because I'm like, oh man, I'm like, 1968, the black guy gonna live? Psych. He did make it all the way to the end. But anywho, so Mary goes out there. She's like, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What y'all? You got some money? And he's like, we got this gold, baby. She's like, what the fuck is this? He said, that's solid gold, baby. And I was like, she was like, damn, this shit look crazy. He said, you go and take that.
I can melt it down and make teeth.
But they're talking, having a conversation. He's like, I can feel you. He's like, you're suffering because her mom just died. And he's like, yeah, I would have loved to have saved her from her pain. And she's like, fuck you talking about, white boy? And he started drooling and shit all on his mouth. And she was like, oh no. She was like, all right, y'all go that way, I'm going this way.
And his eyes changed.
His eyes shit. She was like, oh, hell no. And she starts walking back to the juke, and you see this motherfucker float up in the air, and it cuts.
Yeah.
And we know it's popping.
And the editing, like, for that, because then Perline is singing, because she's a singer.
Yes, and that
she's like stomping.
God, dude, that is one of my favorite parts, bro. When she's singing her song and they're all stomping and shit, I'm like, this shit slaps so hard.
Because there's so much that gets covered up by them stomping.
Like that dude all this stuff getting stomped. Yeah. There was a dude getting stomped because he was cheating in a dice game. Yeah, loaded dice on him.
Yeah.
And so somebody gets cut. Of course, a bunch of nigga shit happens at the club.
Yeah.
Like, niggas get cut, niggas get shot. Somebody gets stomped out. But it was a fun time. So. Dude, Perline's performance in that scene was amazing. I loved her in that scene. I love that song they were playing. The way everyone was stomping and like, dude, you could just see the fun they're having. They're sweating and dancing and just, I'm like, bro, if it was 1932, I'd be at the juke joint every week. You best believe. Fuck else you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm like, should I be at the juke joint every week, man? Like Sammy's dad, he's like a bunch of drunken fools sweating on each other. Yes, sir. I'll be a drunken fool sweating all over a Perline all day long.
Yeah.
Shit. So, I guess I would have been a sinner. But, so
we're born sinners.
We are
according to that book. Anyway,
yeah, we're born sinners, which we are. So Mary comes back, and one thing you won't notice right away, even though we all know it's good, you won't notice until a little bit later. She comes up to the door and she's like, "Hey, Cornbread, you gonna let me in, or you just gonna?"
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah, you don't think about it then.
Yeah.
But she does have to get permission to come in there.
Yes.
So he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Yeah, go ahead in." You're not thinking about it. You already let her in.
Yes,
you know her. You know what I mean? So you're not like,
wow.
Yeah, like that's something a lot of people probably didn't think twice about that. Because, and
that would have tipped you off right away.
Yep, that would have. Yep. So he lets her in. So she comes in and she finds Stack, and he's like, "So what the motherfucker say?" She's like, "Look at this." She's like, "He said gay this?" She was like, He's like, "Damn!" And she just grabs him, and starts kissing him, and he's like, "Oh shit!" She's getting all. You can see a change in her. She is hypersexual right now. She is all over this man, and she's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Hold on, baby, you somebody else's."
Yeah,
and she said, "You done rob trains and banks, but you can't steal this pussy for a night." I was like, Ryan Coogler, what were you thinking when you wrote her lines? I was like, Ryan acted all fool. He was like, "I'm gonna make this bitch say some shit." I was like, when she said that, I made the same face as the tongue and goose moment. I was like, Haley Stein, and bro, they go to the room and. Woo, they start getting it in, and man, shit's going down. And
that was earlier.
But
when shit was going down.
It was a little earlier, yeah. But
I'm talking about Preacher Boy.
Oh yeah. That's right. Before that, Preacher Boy munches up Pearline, and she was like, "Oh, but I'm all." He was like, "Nah, I want to taste that natural, baby." He said, "I want the seasoning." He said,
she said she wanted to
clean up. He said, "No, I just want to taste. I want to taste you, baby."
Yeah,
He listened to his cousin because she was in there. Woo! And the funniest is when Stack comes up, he's like,
because she says Preacher Boy.
Yeah, Preacher Boy. He was like, he tells Grace, he's like, "Listen, my little cousin there, get me in, baby." She's like, "Woo!" And so at this point, though, a lot is happening at once, and if you don't pay attention, you'll miss something. Cornbread was guarding the door. He's got to take a piss. Yeah. So he asked Delta Slim to watch the door. So Delta Slim is currently watching the door. Cornbread is outside taking a piss, which we all know this is not good. Yeah. There's vampires outside.
Yeah.
So Stack and Mary are in the closet hooking up. Smoke is asking Preacher Boy, he's like, "Where the fuck is Stack?" And he's like, "I don't know." He's like, "Go find him." And he's like, "Yo, Delta, where's Stack at?" He's like, "Oh, he in the room. Go ahead, go on in there." This shit's funny because Delta Slim knew what was popping.
Yeah.
And he opens the door, bro. Mary riding the shit out of Stack, bro. He's like, "Oh, shit, my bad." And he was like, "Oh, he busy, huh?" Bro,
that was funny.
Cracking up. I was like, "Yo, go ahead, I was like, Delroy Lindo was beautiful in this movie. He was so great. And he goes up to Smoke. He's like, "Yo, bro, Stack busy." He's like, "Go get him." He's like, "I ain't interrupting." He's like, "Motherfucker, I don't care." He's like, he getting some nookie. And he's like, "I don't give a fuck what he getting. Go get him." He's like, "I ain't doing it." He's like, "Oh my God." So Smoke goes in the room. And bro, Mary's chewing this motherfucker's neck apart, bro. Oh, it's so bad. The blood's just like, oh, it was coming. I was like, "Oh, Jesus." And he's like, "She bit me." She said, "Oh, Smoke. It's not what it looks like."
It's exactly what it looks like.
"Bitch, you got blood come off your face." Bro, he unloads 2 magazines in this bitch. I was like, "Oh, shit." We all know you can't kill a vampire that way.
Yeah.
So she drops and gets right back up. And she starts laughing. "We gonna kill every last one of you." And I'm like, she runs the fuck out. She said, "We'll be back. We'll have a good old time." I'm like, "Oh, no, you good?"
Here's the crazy part, though. I just realized she could have gone back in at any time because she was invited back in.
See, but I think you got to get permission every time.
Or was it the fact that she was invited in by Cornbread?
Yeah, that too.
Because then
and now Cornbread's turn, so he can't give you the pass too. So now I'm like, either way, either the original invitee is now null and void, so he can't. The inviter, he can't invite you. So now that's done, or you left, so now you need basically another ticket to get in.
Because I remember that from Fright Night. You have to invite
them in. Yeah. Fright Night's a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Fright Night. But I never saw the remake with Colin Farrell and Anton Yelchin.
You didn't see that?
No, is it good?
Yeah, it's pretty good. David Tennant plays the He was the 10th and the 14th Doctor in Doctor Who.
Okay.
He's the Peter Vincent character, and he's more of like
Peter Vincent.
He's more of like a Chris Angel in that version.
Okay. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. I'm gonna check it out
because your girl plays the mom, Anton Yelchin. Oh my God, Toni Collette.
Oh, okay. She's in Mickey 17. I was watching.
Oh, yes.
Dude,
yeah.
Mark Ruffalo is in that movie. Yeah. Bro, he's fucking hilarious. I was like, why is Mark Ruffalo so funny in this? It made no sense.
And Pattinson's good. Great.
Oh, he's great. He's always great. Oh, dude, he's playing dual roles. It's just like Sinners. Wow. He's a clone, though, not a twin. But you have to watch it, bro. You should watch it.
I wanted to.
Watch it. It's good. It's good. It's different. It's got some weird shit, but it's good. You'll like it. And it's funny, too. I was laughing at it. So, dude, Mary runs out, and now we know all hell is broken loose. And Annie's the only one who has any kind of inkling of what's going on here. She said, oh, that bitch a haint.
Yeah.
And she was like, you notice she said, we coming back? She said, who the fuck is we? And she's like, he's like, y'all, like, Smoke is having a moment.
Yeah,
his brother's dead. And that's, dude, these two dudes.
Isn't he holding him at
He's holding him, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's dead in his arms. And he's like, she's like, Smoke, baby, we just got to take your brother outside just for a little bit. He's like, we're not fucking moving my brother. It's off limits. You're not touching him. Get the fuck away. She's like, honey, I think you need to listen to me. He's like, no, just fucking close the door and we'll figure this shit out. So they lock him in the room, which ain't no good. But while he's in the room, this is like, oh, this here is the gold. Cornbread's punk ass walks back up.
Yeah,
he walks up and he's like, they're like, where the fuck was you at? He said, goddamn, I had to go use the bathroom, man. He said, this bitch sandwich and fucked me up and all this shit. And he's like, you left this drunk motherfucker to watch the door. And he's like, hey, I got it. And he's like, listen, he's like, all right. He's like, what happened? He said, Stat got killed. Oh, no. He said, Smoke, what happened to you? He's covered in blood. He's like, well, damn, well, let me on in so I can come and help. And they were about to let him in. And he was like, hold up. She was like, yo, big ass, why don't you just barrel past all of us and fucking just come on in? Yeah. Now, that wouldn't be very polite now. Yeah. He said, come on, y'all gonna let me in or what? And they looking at him, they're all looking like, the fuck? And Delroy Lindo's like, don't let this motherfucker in, bro. And he's like, this man was kind to me. He employed me. Yeah. He said, I'm going to be there for him in his time of need, so why don't y'all go ahead and let me in? Yeah. And I'm like, he's trying hard. He's laying it on thick. And at that point, I would be like, motherfucker, why don't you just walk the fuck in? I would have thought the same thing. I would have been like, you acting real weird. And Annie's like, she said, don't let him in. They're like, don't let him in. And he was like, yeah. Smoke's like, you've been coming in and out this motherfucker all day. Ain't never needed no permission. Why you asking for permission now? And he's like, oh, that's how it's going to be, huh? He said, and you just as bad as a white man. Yeah. He said it'd be your own kind. It's like, yo, he's being funny as hell. Like, and so he's like, well, can I at least get my money? And Delta Slim's like, bro, don't give him shit, Smoke. Don't pay him shit, bro. And he's like, he ain't earned it. Don't give him shit. But Smoke is a man of his word. So Smoke starts taking up the money. And he's slowly inching it towards the opening of the door. And I'm like, bro, I would have been like, I would have threw that shit out the door. I'd been like, there you go, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, because he grabs his arm.
Yo, as soon as his hand crosses the line of that doorway, bro, Cornbread grabs that motherfucker's arm quick and tries to bite it off. And Smoke, being the quick gunman he is, quickly shoots this motherfucker in the face before he can bite him, and he gets away. And obviously, we see Cornbread did not die from this.
Yeah.
And he looks all freaky, and he's like, and they're like, what? Oh, they're like, what the? So they run back in, and they're like, okay. She said, these ain't haints, these fucking vampires. Yeah. She was like...
Oh, and before this, Grace's husband went out to get
yep, he went to get the car. Grace's husband went to get the car.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I want to go, I want to leave. And he's like, yeah, all right, I'll go get the car.
Yeah.
Well, notice he ain't came back with that car.
Yeah.
You don't see him again
for a little
bit later. Yeah. So they're like, these is vampires, these ain't haints. And at this moment, Stack wakes up. And that's when we know, oh shit, this big ass scary motherfucker is right inside of here in this motherfucking closet. And so he starts knocking, he's like, hey, y'all, come on now, open up this door, let me on out.
Yeah.
And they're like, you see him, he stabs through the door with a knife. And we're like, yo, he's like, Stack, that's you? No, motherfucker, it's Jim Crow. He's like, of course it's me. Let me on out. He said, how you feeling, man? You lost a lot of blood. He said, and they show him behind the door, and his neck is fucking like, bro, that hole in his neck. My God, bro, that thing was a fist size, right?
Yeah.
And he puts on this vest, a little homage to From Dusk Till Dawn. He's like, oh yeah. Well, I'm feeling pretty good now. I'm feeling great. Go ahead, let me out. And he's like, bro, don't open that fucking door. That is not your brother. And he's like, what the fuck, man? I'm gonna open the door, and like, he's like, I don't know what to do. And Preacher Boy goes over the door, and I'm like, bro, quit looking through the thing. And he starts going crazy. He's bashing his head against the door. He's like, let me out, let me out. One of my favorite lines, he said, oh, you sons of bitches gonna get it, locking all this pimping in the closet. That shit had me cracking up. And he's like, open up this damn door. You see his eyes, like, they show the camera looking up, and his head, he has the top of his head pressed against the door, and like he's bashing it with his head, and he's looking down, and you can see his eyes, and they got that glow, which he actually got that from Puss in Boots, from Death, the new Puss in Boots movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
No.
Absolutely incredible.
I remember you said before.
It's so good. It's so good. So yeah, he got it from that, and I was like, wow, he got that from Puss in Boots. That's pretty cool. So Coogler was wearing his influences everywhere, but Stack busts down that door, knocks Preacher Boy on his ass, and this is when all hell breaks loose, because you don't want to be stuck in a room with a vampire like that.
No,
he's probably going to kill all of you.
Yeah.
So
it would be like if the saxophone player from the Lost Boys was a vampire.
Yeah. So
just less oil.
That guy, bro. Why though? Every time I watched that movie, I was like, whose idea was it to have this guy perform?
Probably Joel Schumacher.
At a carnival.
Joel Schumacher was the director.
That's right. He did direct that.
Yes.
We can fast forward later and see more.
Yes,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm surprised guy wasn't.
That's why Michael and whatever Kiefer Sutherland's name was in that movie. That's why they were so like
sort of.
They were in the line of like, do we fuck?
Yeah.
So like they definitely.
Yeah, maybe I should suck more than your blood.
Yeah, more than your blood. They're just noodles, Michael.
Yeah.
They're just noodles.
Oh my!
So funny, bro. So fucking Stack runs out, bro, and Annie, being the saint she is, throws some garlic water on him.
Yeah,
pickled garlic water. Yeah. And so he's like, he runs all out. And so I'm like, the vampires love just running out the door. I'm like, you're already in. You might want to stay.
Yeah.
But so he runs out the door, and they're like, bro, what the fuck is going on?
Maybe he couldn't stay because after he was turned, he wasn't invited in.
You're right. You're right. Maybe he did. You're right. Maybe he did.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Like, if you get turned while you're already inside, like, he's like, all right, let me go out, come back in.
Yeah.
It's a good question. So they gear up. Annie breaks down the lore for him. We need silver, wood, garlic. And it's very basic vampire tropes, which a lot of people have problems with.
Why?
I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, what do you want to do? Reinvent the whole fucking genre?
Yeah, they're not going to shine like diamonds, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or shimmer.
Yeah, shimmer. Yeah, I'm like,
because diamonds reflect. I'm sorry, Rihanna. Diamonds reflect light. They don't shine
bright like a diamond.
Reflect light like a diamond.
So that's what I was like. And a lot of people were like, well, just the movie was such this level of prestige. Like, I just thought it was a cop out to go with these simple vampires. I'm like, so what the fuck was he supposed to do?
But honestly, it's 1932. All anyone really knew at that point was like
from books.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like Bram Stoker's Dracula was only like 40 years old.
Yeah, I'm like,
and whatever folklore had been around.
Yeah, the only movie they may have saw was Nosferatu.
Nosferatu in 22 and 31 would have been Dracula with Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi, yeah. Which they don't really get into the tropes that much in those movies.
No, not at all.
Especially Nosferatu. Like, the only thing you know is Animal of the Sun. That's about it. Yeah. So she's like, look, you gotta put a stake to the heart. She tells him the game, and thank God she did, because none of them motherfuckers
They're like, we had a fish fry, we didn't have any steak.
We had no steak, right? He's like, oh, I missed the steak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Did I come too late for the steak? You know what I'm saying? So they're like, all right, bet. They're like, here's the deal. They have the thing moment. Where they're like, you know, in the thing where they cut their hands and they do the tests on the petri dish with the blood to see if they're the thing.
Yeah.
They do the same thing here. You got to eat a piece of garlic.
Yeah.
And Perline, she acting high and mighty like she don't want to eat this shit. And I'm like, bitch, you shut the fuck up and eat it. Like, your ass gonna get killed. And Smoke's like, bitch, if you don't eat this garlic, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And Preacher Boy like, she ain't no vampire chill, bro. He pistol whipped that motherfucker in the face. He said, shut the fuck up, boy. Don't question me while I'm trying to save you. I was like, Michael B acting a fool. And so she eats it. Everybody's cool. But then there's a guy in there who got too drunk and he spilled some liquor. He either threw some up or it spilled out his bottle, whatever. These idiots didn't think to check to see what the liquid was.
One of my favorite lines, though, I think it might have been around this time or like right before, after something happened, when Delta Slim is like, do you smell that?
Oh, yeah. He said, I just shot myself. Yo, that was after Cornbread tries to get smoke. Yeah, he said,
did you smell that?
I just shot myself. So many people were like, bro, I would have did this same thing. I was like, yo, if you saw it, bro, if I saw some shit like that, I feel like my soul might just exit my body, bro. Like, my soul just be like, see ya. And I'd just be a body. Like, shit.
I can't handle this.
Hell no. I'm like, man, hell no. The clan is one thing. This is a whole other, what the hell? So, but, so then they're like, all right, we're good. All we got to do is wait till morning, guys. We're good. And so there's this drunk dude. He's passed out. They're like, oh.
We don't know who killed him.
We don't know who killed him. Was it Stack or Mary? They're like, yeah, but they ran right out. And like, we ain't taking no chances. No one thought to check what the liquid was. Because the beer was a dark brown color like dry blood would be. So they just took this motherfucker, threw him out back, and was like, hey, have at it. This dude was just passed out. He was not drunk. So
Or dead,
sorry. My bad. And he was not turning. So Preacher Boy and Stack, or Smoke, sorry, they go out to the side. Why did they go outside? They went to check on something. I can't even fucking remember what reason they went outside. I was like, why are y'all going outside? They went to check on something, but, you know, fucking Cornbread runs over, and they run back inside like, oh shit, fuck this.
Yeah.
And the dude wakes up.
Were they looking for Grace's husband, maybe?
Yes, that's what it was. They were looking for Grace's. I'm like, yeah, they were looking for Bo. That was his name.
Bo.
She's like, we gotta find Bo. I'm like, Bo is fucking dead, man.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Because Grace was like, well, I want to leave. And they're like, well, you can't go because we can't protect you. I'd be like, listen, let that bitch go if she want. I'm like, you can leave. I'm like, listen, you can leave, but she ain't coming back.
Yeah.
So if you walk out that door now, that's it. We can't help you. I would be like, look, you're a grown woman. I'm not going to stop you from doing what you want to do. But we try and keep you alive. We don't want to leave your daughter orphan. I'm like, shit, she going to change her name from Sarah to Annie. So I'm like, damn. But like, we already got an Annie here. We don't need another one.
Yeah.
So they're like, yo, this dude, he wakes up. He sees fucking Cornbread coming from him. He starts banging on the door. He's like, yo, let me in. He said, I'm sorry, I paid my tab. Yo, I was like, yo, this dude. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, let him in. Because I'm like, I think they had enough time to let him in.
And because I think that's after they realized that it was beer.
Yeah. They realized. So I'm like, y'all know he's not lying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, they were like, wait a minute. They were like, yeah, because Delta Slim's like, bro, that beer made me kind of sick.
Yeah.
And then they saw that. They're like, yo, this ain't blood. That was the beer. It's the Irish beer. And they're like, oh, shit. They're like,
yeah, because he threw up the beer.
He threw up the beer. I'm like, y'all just threw this motherfucker to the wolves, dude. I'm like, y'all threw him to the wolves. And so, of course, they open the door. And, bro, they see Cornbread eat this motherfucker up, bro. He chomps on him, and then Bo walks up.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, Grace, let's go. I get the car all warmed up. And he acting like everything's all good.
Yeah, watching
Cornbread.
Chow down on this.
He said, oh, he's just hungry. Don't worry about him. I'm like, he's like, come on, baby, let's go. And he's like, or you could let us in there. and, we can all have some fun. His eyes are all tripping. Yeah. I'm like, you gotta be a little smoother than that, bro. That ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna get you in. So she's like, oh no, fuck that. And
yeah.
Then that's when the fucking Ramek comes up and he's like, y'all should really let us in there. He's like, I know all his thoughts. He's like, what about your precious daughter? He's like, if y'all don't let us in, we might just have to go over to the grocery store and pay your daughter a visit. And so Grace is like, oh no, she starts flipping out. And she's like, yo, don't listen to her, bro. Like, chill. Like, these motherfuckers trying to do anything to get in or get you out. And she's starting to go through, and he starts speaking like Chinese or whatever language, and it's like
she does say Chinese.
Yeah,
like he was speaking Chinese.
Yep, and like because they have that hive mind, so they share all the thoughts. So like anything the Asian guy knew, now he knows. So he speaks Chinese. Those motherfuckers speak Chinese. So I'm like, oh man, this is crazy. So Stack and Mary come up. And they're all trying to convince them that Ramek's trying to convince them that this is a better life. If you come with us, you don't have to deal with Jim Crow, racism. We got the power, talent, and knowledge to kill all these KKK motherfuckers. Yeah. And Ramek tells them, like, bro,
this dude is his nephew.
This is his nephew.
Yeah.
He said, you thought that y'all were going to buy this juke joint? He said they were going to come kill y'all tomorrow. He's like, they were going to pull up. He said it's true. And Stack comes up. He's like, this one never no motherfucking juke joint. It's a goddamn slaughterhouse. He said it's a goddamn killing floor. And I'm like, clearly that's what the shit was. Yeah. It was blood on the floor from earlier. And I'm like, well, I mean, we figured that already.
Yeah,
but
that's why
now it's confirmed. Yeah, that's why he spat. Now it's confirmed. So Ramek, he's like, listen, y'all come with us. Y'all ain't got to deal with none of this shit. And he is actually giving a compelling argument.
Yeah.
Like, listen, look at us all out here. We're all out here chilling. They were dancing, singing in harmony. Cornbread was like, yeah, he was getting hyped.
Yeah.
Michael B. and Haley Steinfeld, they were doing this like Irish-ass dance. And this man's doing the jig, moving the feet. And I'm like, why is this lit? I'm like, why do I like this? I'm like, why are they going stupid? I'm like, why are they going hard as fuck? But they're going hard as fuck. And I'm like, they're like, bro, they're listening to him because they're like, man, this ain't making sense. But they're like, no, fuck that. And man, Stack gives a speech to Smoke like, bro, you coming with me. You my brother. I'm not doing this shit without you. There is no me without you.
Yeah.
And no matter how we got to do it, you either going to let us or we going to take it. So you make your pick. And he's like, it's better this way and all this. And then they're like, fuck you. They slam the door in his face. And one of my favorite lines comes from Stack right there. He's like, no vision.
Yeah.
I was like,
and that's weird because Smoke is the business guy.
Yep, Smoke's the businessman, but Stack was the one making the proposals. But Stack is a smooth talker, remember?
Yeah.
Like Smoke even says, I can't talk slick to people, but I know business.
Yeah.
And this is bad business.
Yeah.
And so that's why they were such a good pair. Like Smoke enforces, keeps it straight, Stack can talk the game. So they're a good pairing. And Mary's like, guys, we're family. Like, she said, I know this sounds fucked up, but once we kill y'all, we gonna have heaven right here on earth.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's some crazy shit to say. So these dudes, they're like, listen, how about this? You give us Sammy, and we'll leave the rest of you motherfuckers alone. We just want Sammy, really. And Sammy's like, yo, I'm about to sacrifice myself.
Yeah,
he was going to go.
He was.
And Smoke and Delta Slim were like, stay your ass right back here. And Delta Slim's like, you ain't taking him. He belongs to us. Y'all motherfuckers going to have to go through me. He's like, Sammy, I don't let nobody hurt you, bro. Because, like, Delta was probably like, Sammy's the son I wish I had, at some point. Yeah. So they're like, we're going to protect this kid at all costs. Because, spoiler alert, guys, Sammy's the only motherfucker who lives. So they're like, they go back in, and Grace is like, we got to do something. She's all pissed off about her daughter, understandably. But I'm like, bitch. And I'm like, if it was me, I'd be like, bye. You can go. If you want to go, do whatever you got to do. You want to help your daughter, fine. but your ass is not letting the motherfuckers in here.
Yeah.
So this bitch starts making she starts making Molotov cocktails and shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, what are you doing? She's like, we ain't gonna stand around and do nothing, are we? He's like, we just gotta wait until the morning, dog.
Yeah.
I'd be like, bro, they probably had 3 hours, bro. Like, we had a few hours till dawn. So I'm like, come on, man. So she's like, come on in, motherfucker. With her hood ass Asian voice. I love it. And bro, shit hit the fan. They run in, and one of my only real nitpick is in this scene.
Really?
Yep. Because they threw in a bunch of random extras to get killed to fill out the space.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, none of these motherfuckers were here 2 minutes ago.
Okay, yes,
there was like 3 or 4 just random NPC kills. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Ryan Coogler, you crafted an absolute, basically perfect masterpiece of a film, and you threw this one little fucking stupid thing in there. I'm like, we didn't even need that. You could have just slowed it down.
Yeah.
And put more emphasis on the people who were there and how they got killed. But I know he wanted it to be a balls to the wall because Ludwig's score was all metally sounding at that point. It's like, dun, dun, dun.
Really?
It's like, it was a metal
that
score.
score is incredible.
Like,
the entire film.
He better win an Oscar. I need him to win an Oscar. I need him to win an Oscar for this, and I need Ryan Coogler to at least get a Best Director nom.
Yes.
Please. But that score from Ludwig, that boy went stupid,
and it's so bluesy too. Like
it's bluesy,
but it's like modern,
and
it's also like of the time, but it's also modern. It's so crazy.
It's everything.
Yeah,
and he just scored every scene so perfectly. I'm like, this score is wow. You know, he did Oppenheimer, won an Oscar for that.
Yes, yeah.
You know, I think if he wins for this will be his 3rd one, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he did the Mandalorian theme, dude.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, he's a beast, bro. Swedish dude. Him and Coogler, he's done all Coogler's films. They went to school together. So he did the BP,
really?
Wakanda, Fruitvale, all that. Creed.
Wow.
Yeah, he did all them scores.
Wow.
So, and he was the link between him and Nolan.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Yeah. I'm like, man, I'm like, bro, Coogler's like, yo, I owe it all to him, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, he really is a big part of my filmmaking process. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm like, shout out to, and he's young, bro. He's like 39.
Yeah, because Ryan Coogler's only,
I'm like, that's 38 years old, make a movie like this, absolutely insane. But so motherfuckers start getting slayed, bro. Delta Slim sacrifices himself, to give them time to get upstairs. Stack kills Annie. He doesn't kill Annie. He bites Annie.
Yeah, he bites Annie. And Annie and Smoke made
a deal. Yep, they made a pact that if I get bit, kill me.
Yeah.
So I can go and be with our dog.
Yeah, because there's someone waiting for
me on the other side.
Yeah.
And low-key, I think Annie knew they were both going to die.
Yeah.
Because she basically was like, I'll see you soon. Yeah. Like, she basically was like, you're going to die. Yeah. Like, you ain't going to live.
Like, she might have had that kind of vision that she knew.
Yeah. I mean, she clearly is, she knows some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So she knew, but dude, it just broke my heart that Smoke did it. And Annie looks him in his eyes. She's like, not you. And I was like, yeah, not you, Stack. You can't do it. And Smoke's trying to help her, but Ramick grabs Smoke and body slams that motherfucker. And he's got vampire strength. Smoke can't stop that. So he's pinning him down. And Smoke's just watching fucking Stack eat up his woman. And Stack turns to Smoke and he's like, everything gonna be all right. And I'm like, God, Michael B, you acting unusual.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, man. When Annie died, I just shouted. I was like,
but then when Smoke ends up putting that stake through her heart.
Oh, that broke me even more.
Mary and Stack are like devastated.
They're devastated. Yeah, they leave.
Yeah.
They leave. They're like, because remember, first Smoke or Stack was pissed. He's like, no, don't kill Annie. They're like, you can't do this. Like, because I know they had intentions for Annie because she was so smart and knew all the shit. They're probably, she's going to be. They were like, her and Sammy were going to be the most useful to them.
Yeah.
So I know they were like, bro, if we don't get any two, it's got to be them two. And Smoke too. Yeah. Because that's his brother. Yeah. And dude, that dude is a vampire. Holy fuck. You know what I mean? Like, goddamn.
Yeah.
You ain't stopping him. So he's like, shit. So so he stakes Annie. And bro, Grace killed Bo, and she catches on fire, and they burn together.
Oh my god,
dude! They go upstairs. Perlene gets bit, unfortunately.
Yeah,
and like Preacher Boy's getting overran, but of course, Smoke saves him, and Smoke's like, "Yo, Preacher Boy, get the fuck out of here! Make it till sunlight, make it!" And he runs off the side, and bro, he jumps off. He falls like 15 feet. Smack! I'm like, God damn! I've seen this movie a couple times. I won't admit how many, but each time I've seen it, every time, like, fuck. Like, I was like, every time, like, God, that looks painful. So, man, Stack and Smoke duke it out, brother to brother. It felt like I was watching Revenge of the Sith again. I was like, you were my brother, Anakin. Yeah. I loved you. I was like, no. That's definitely what Smoke wanted to do with Stack. He was like, oh.
I did read, believe it or not, because it is like the 20th anniversary, Hayden Christensen was in the costume. But he had to convince them, and he was wearing lifts, so he could be taller. But he did mention there is leather in the costume.
Oh, God. It is
more Mad Max than we realize.
He's a Mad Max, man.
Yeah.
He could have been in Road Warrior.
Yeah.
So Stack and Smoke are duking it out. And Stack's like, motherfucker, you coming with us, bro. I ain't doing this shit without you, my bro. I love you, bro. And and Stack kicks Smoke and he falls and he's like, man, stay your ass down. And I started cracking up because I'm like, I know he's like, God, for a human, you really coming at me, bro. And Smoke comes, he kicks the shit out of Stack, gets him down and gets the stake over his heart. And he's like, he starts crying. Oh, it's an emotional scene. He's like, I'm sorry, bro. He's like, what? He said, I just wanted to protect you. He said, you always did. And the scene cuts, and I'm like, and in your head, I'm like, and me, I was so wrapped up in my emotions. When I first watched it, I was so wrapped up in my emotions and everything going on. I just was like, fuck, he did it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, man, Smoke had to kill the two people we love the most. I'm like, this motherfucker got nobody now. Your wife's gone, your brother's gone, your kid's gone. Fucking who knows where your cousin is? Like shit, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn. Well, we cut and we see Sammy running away from these vamps, and they're fucking. He starts spitting some prayers, trying to save himself.
Yeah, he starts doing the Our Father.
Yeah, and Ramek starts doing it with him.
Yeah,
and he's like, I know that one. He's like,
because Ramek like jumps.
He jumps, leaps, bro.
And just like he did when he went to Mary.
Yep, to Mary, that little floating shit. And Preacher Boy still got his guitar. And they're like, bro, he's like, yo, you coming with us, bro. Basically, whether you like it or not, but you gonna like it, buddy. We gonna make sweet music together. And I'm like, bro, Jack O'Connell, bro. I'm like, you gonna get some roles after this. They may be all villainous, but you get some checks. I'm like, some checks is coming your way. And bro, Preacher Boy cracks that motherfucker with that guitar, and it's got that silver disc in it.
Yeah.
It's sticking out the side of his head. My man's head starts smoking. He's like, shit,
and
that hurt. All of them get hurt. I'm guessing because of the high mind, because they all share a mind. So I'm like, if you hit the head with something that would hurt them, I guess they would all feel it. And bro, Ramek's like, you little fucking black bastard. He grabs him by his face, and that's where he gets the cuts on his face. And he's about to do the work. And my man Smoke comes through and stakes Ramek from behind, kills him. And as he's doing that, we get the peak of sunlight come up, and it kills all them other motherfuckers. Thank God. Then Preacher Boy's like, all right, I got to go. Stack's like, yeah, take the car, get the fuck out of here ASAP. Go to church, go to your dad, get the fuck out of here.
That is after Sammy helps him get the
oh yeah, don't make me go play. Yeah. He gets some tools because we ain't done. We got a little bit more work to do.
Yeah.
So Sammy helps him get the tools. He's like, yeah, take the whip. I'm out. And Smoke tries to roll his own cigarette, but he can't because he's got the shake. Everything. Yep, he's got the shakes, and he's a war vet. I think it's from PTSD. Yeah, I was like, because Stack always rolled his cigarettes.
Oh,
and so
so he did do it on his own.
Yep, he never rolled his own cigarettes. Stack always rolled them because I don't know when the scene where they're talking about the money situation about the people paying with them fucking wooden chips. He's like, fuck, I need a cigarette. And Stack's like, coming right up. And he rolls it for him. Yeah. At the beginning, when they're waiting for the KKK guy to sell him the mill, Stack is rolling him a cigarette. Okay. So Stack rolled all his cigarettes. He could never smoke them himself. And so, but Stack knows. Stack didn't forget what Ramick told him. If Ramick didn't do one favor for Stack this whole night, he gave him a warning. These clan motherfuckers is coming to get you. Yeah, Smoke. That's what I meant. Smoke, yes. Smoke was like, yo, if Ramick didn't do nothing for me all night, he gave me his best warning. Yeah. And the clan pulls up. They're saying racist stuff. What do you say? We gonna scan out some niggers today. Some racist shit. And Smoke's ass is sitting in the bushes with that big ass gun. And he just starts laying these clan motherfuckers out one by one. He comes out of there, starts motherfuckers getting lit up like a Christmas tree. I was like, man, look, I ain't got no problem seeing Klans members get shot the fuck up. I was like, go ahead, boy.
No one should ever feel
I'm bad. Like, the Klan is so, like, God, it seems so outdated, you know what I mean? Hell, even Edward Norton in American History X said the Klan was stupid. That was the most racist guy ever.
Yeah, well, you know
what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, he kills all the motherfuckers, but he took his mojo bag off before he went out.
Oh, he did? You're right, because he was sitting there.
Yep. And I don't know if you noticed, when he's fighting Stack, when Stack's trying to bite him, he can't bite him because the mojo bag is keeping him from breaking past his neck. Wow. So, like, I didn't catch that until, I won't say what time it was, which time it was, but I was like, oh, he can't bite him because, like, it glows a little bit when he gets near him. And, like, you can see Stack getting frustrated. He's like, oh, fuck, can I get this guy?
Yeah.
And so that thing really was keeping him alive. So he takes it off, which obviously he wanted to die.
Yeah.
Because if you take it off, he took it off, he's like, it's my time. So he kills all these dudes, but he gets shot right in the side. Like,
it was like a through
and through, which I was, but where he hit him at, I'm like, I don't know, bro. That was like, what's all here? What's here? You know stuff.
I don't know much. Probably more like, because your colon, goes all over that area.
Dude, he hit some vital organs.
Yeah, it had to.
And that was a big caliber, bro. That hole was big. I was like, oh.
And you saw the blood
was pouring out. I was like, yes, I'm going to die. And so he walks over. He left the Klans guy, the main guy. I think his name was Hogwood. He left Hogwood for last. And he's like, you got a cigarette? Fuck you, nigger.
Yeah.
And he looks at him. He's like, bro. And he's like, all right. So he gives him a cigarette. He lights it. He sits down, and he's starting to die. So he has a vision. He sees Annie dressed in white, nursing their little baby. And she says, should put that smoke out. You put that cigarette out, you could hold her. So I don't want all that smoke to get on her.
Look, she's got some tig old bitty.
Yeah, she does. That's what, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, look, she's a busty one. Like, busty.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because look, is the funniest thing you could ever say to a woman if you see her breastfeeding in public is to say, I hope you brought enough for everyone.
It'll either get laughed or you get slapped.
Yeah, one or the other.
There's no middle ground there.
Annie, she brought enough for everybody.
She brought plenty. Everybody was, it was leche.
And look, I'm not complaining either.
No, she was.
You could drown in those and be happy.
I was like, Annie. I thought Annie was gorgeous. I was like, she's not typically my type, but I'm like, she was beautiful. She played the character.
And look, she has the body shape of a woman.
A woman. That's what asks a woman. Curvy, voluptuous, full-figured, yo. I'm like, if you like your women built like women, you'll probably like Annie. Yeah. So I'm like, I thought she was great. And like, if you see her outside the movie, she like in her normal, she looks great.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, but so he throws a cigarette down, and Hogwood's like, listen, feller, I got money. I know I called you all kinds of ends and stuff, but and Looks like motherfucker dumps a whole mag in this. Just
Yeah.
I was like, ah, damn. Kills that motherfucker, and of course, Smoke dies. But he's free. It's his version of freedom.
That is his version of freedom.
It's his version of freedom.
And maybe that's why he took off the mojo bag, because
yes, he wanted to.
But also, like, he wasn't free because it wasn't his choice.
It wasn't his choice. Yeah, yes. She put that on him. He's like, it's my time. I'm going out my way.
Yeah.
And this is my freedom.
Yeah,
and Yep. And the same thing with Sammy. Wow. Sammy, then we're back at the beginning. Sammy standing there with that neck of that guitar, talking to his dad. His dad's like, son, drop that guitar. And he's saying it over and over, and he's holding it, and you just see Sammy driving away in the car. Smoke left him. And
he had to go see about a girl.
Had to go see about a girl. Well, he named his club Pearline. The club. So so he drives away, and that was Sammy's version of freedom, was through his music. He's like, I don't care that this shit almost killed me. This is what I want, and I'm going to do it.
Because he says, old Sammy says one of the most powerful things. He's like, before the sun went down.
Oh, man. It was the best night of my life.
Buddy, I don't know if you feel the same.
Who was that? Buddy Guy.
Buddy Guy.
He was, I didn't know he was still alive.
Me either.
He looks great, though. That guy's got to be like 90-something,
And the thing is, he can play the guitar like a ringing a bell.
Bro, I'm like, when he starts playing, I'm like, this guy missed a damn beat. He still sounds the same. His voice still sounds good.
And he's one of the best, too, ever.
Yeah, I was like, wow, he's still good. But so that's how it ends with air quotes. Skip a minute, go to the after credit scene or the mid credit scene, which is my absolute favorite. It was my favorite part of the movie because I think the mid credit scene put a bow on the whole thing and tied all of the themes up so nicely. We see Sammy older, played by the Mans. He's old. He's at his club. It's called Pearline. He moved to Chicago. It's 60 years later. We're in 1992. I probably wasn't. It was October 16th. That was one day, and that was 1 year and 10 days.
Yeah.
So
because it was 60 years to the day.
Yeah, it was 60 years to the day. So I was 1 year and 10 days. Wow. I'm like, hey, it was Libra season. You know what I mean? So let's go. So hey, all crazy shit happens in October. So hey, he's playing a show. It wraps up. Looks like he had a long, prosperous career.
Yeah.
Looks like he followed his dreams and got to live it out. And he's having a drink after his show at his bar and just chilling. And the security guy comes up and he's like, I guess call him Sam or whatever. He's like, yo, these two motherfuckers out here, they said they give you $200. I told them to close, but, they say give a $200 to come in and just say what's up. He said, that'd be fine. And so he gave him permission to come in.
Oh, yes. Yeah. You're right.
Mm-hmm,
God damn it, you're right.
Before he even sees them, he feels them, though.
Yeah.
He has this, like, bro, did this guy act? Did Buddy act?
I don't think so.
He was great in this one movie.
He was, yeah.
Because you can see it on his face, like, literally, like, he felt the presence of something bad. Like, and I was like, when you see him walk in, I love their intro walking in because they're dressed 90s as fuck.
Yeah, they look like they should be on A Different World.
Yes, they should, bro. Bro, Michael B's got the Coogee sweater with the gold rimmed glasses and the box cut. Yo, he is. He's looking fresh as hell.
Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, with the big earrings and the hair and the fucking white and black leather jacket. I was like, bro, I was like, this would be me and my chick if we were fucking vampires in the 90s. No questions asked. I'm like, I love it. I was like, and I had a lot of thoughts run through my head at that time. I'm like, these two motherfuckers stayed together that whole time.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can say what you want about their relationship. A lot of people felt their relationship wasn't real or it was built on lust or that I've heard a lot of people say that Stack really didn't love Mary. I'm like, yeah, he fucking did, if you ask me. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they grew up together.
Yeah.
Because her mom raised them.
That's what I'm like, bro. All that shit he was doing and saying to her was to protect both of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, this was their version of freedom. It was the only way they could be together.
Yeah.
Is to be through the night where no one could see them. And it's the only time they're out. and they've transcended through the decades, and now they're in a time where they can be together in public and be themselves. They finally got the freedom that they wanted decades ago that they could have never had.
Yeah.
So in order for them to live out their dreams, they had to become vampires. Now, that is my own personal take on it. I'm not saying that's what Ryan meant. I'm not saying that's what it is. Everyone has their opinions, and I've heard a lot of theories, and a lot of them are fun and cool and could make sense.
That's a good take, though.
That's what I think, because I think the overarching theme is freedom, and I think that was their version of it. Smoke got his freedom with Annie and his child.
Yeah.
Sammy got his freedom with his music, and they got their freedom with their love.
Yeah.
So, yes, they couldn't go out in the sun. Yes, they don't get older. Certain things they don't experience. They're going to live for eternity together.
Yeah.
The fact that they've been together, they could have both went their separate ways many a times.
Yeah.
It could have been the 70s and be like, you know what? Segregation's over, sweetie. Please, I'm out of here. I'm going to find me a new white joint.
Yeah.
Or find me a black joint. Or find me a whoever the fuck I want because I don't like you. But no.
Yeah.
He stayed with her. It's been 60 fucking years. These two people be like 90 years old right now. Like if they were actually old, you know what I mean? So I'm like,
yeah, because they'd be older than Sammy.
They'd be older than Sammy, but obviously in appearance, they don't age. So Sammy's looking like he's literally about to die soon.
Yeah.
And they still look the same. Yeah, well, I mean, he smelled them. He was like, ain't gonna be long for you home, man.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, I could make it so you ain't gotta go through that. You can keep touring, keep living, keep making your music. He said, you know, Smoke made me promise to never fuck with you, to let you live your life. And I thought it was very noble of Stack to uphold that promise to me. Because you're a vampire now. You're not the same person.
Yeah.
Your morals, goals, everything's different. But you still loved and respect your brother enough to honor those wishes, even though you're in an animalistic mindset. You bit Annie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're crazy.
Yeah. But and who knows how many other people since?
Yes. But I also have another theory. When you kill the lead one, although it doesn't kill the vampires, I think it destroys the hive mind.
So
now I think their mind is free. Yeah, so I'm like, now your mind is free. Yes, you're still a vampire, but now you're free in your own thoughts.
So then Smoke killing Remick would also be Mary and Stack getting free.
So, yes. That's just what I think. Nah, none of this has been confirmed or anything. That's just, you know, I can't get my damn.
It's still early. It's only been out for 2 weeks.
It's only been out for 2 weeks. You know, we'll come out later. The fact that I've seen it as many times as I have, and it's been out for as long as it has, people were kind of looking at me sideways. A lot of people were jealous of me. You know, they're like, I can't believe you've seen it amount of time. And I'm like, yeah. So, like, my mom is so jealous. She's like, oh, I can't believe you've seen it more than once because she loved it. And I was like, sorry, Mom. But I'm seeing her this weekend. So I'm going down to Texas this weekend. Cool. So I was like, look, Mom, we can watch it. I was like, and, you know, I'll just add it to put another tally up.
Yeah. But I mean, what's one more time?
What's one more? And it'll be many more after. But
and you can have a really good discussion about, you know, what this represents or that represents.
For sure. But basically, Stack's like, bro, we got all your records.
Yeah.
I don't like that electric shit as much.
Yeah.
I miss the real. Think you still got it in you? The real? And he breaks out that old guitar.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding. He plays some famous blues song. I know the song, I just don't know the title. And he does it incredibly. I'm like, wow, this guy is still incredible.
Yeah.
And Stack smacks $200 down on the bar with his 4-finger ring that says Stack on it with the $sign as the S.
Yes.
And, you know, they were listening to him. And Mary was just laying on Stack. And I was like, they're so adorable. I like them as vampires more than as segregated people. And they he gives Sammy a hug. Sammy gives him one back. And he's like, take care of yourself, man. And they walk for the door. And Sammy stops him and he says, hey, you know, about once a week I get paralyzed with the thought of that night and everything that happened. But before the sun went down, I think that was the best day of my life. Was it that way for you? And Stack thinks for a minute. And he says, No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Last time I saw my brother, last time I seen the sun, last time we was all free. And I almost cry every time I see that. See, yeah, dude, because I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's a black thing or what, but like this fucking movie punches me in my soul, dude. I'm like, I don't know.
I don't mean to laugh. It's not funny.
No, bro.
It's
seriously, it's insane. Like,
I'm only laughing because I don't see you like this about a film.
You don't, exact, bro. It's maybe the substance. That's about it.
Yeah.
And like,
the only other one I can think of.
Substance, Boogie Nights, and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, and Empire Strikes Back specifically.
Yes, yeah.
You know, so like that's what I was like, bro, this movie has consumed me. It's fucking it's punched me in the gut. It's everything I needed that I didn't know I needed. I didn't know I needed it until I got it.
Yes.
And now that I have it, I don't want to be without it ever again. I'm like, Ryan Coogler, thank you, dog. Thank you. I didn't know I needed a fucking weird, segregated vampire movie that tackled 1,000 relevant, important themes to then and to now. A movie that's connecting people and making them have uncomfortable conversations that needed to be had. I'm like, dude, you're doing the Lord's work here. I'm like, I don't know what drugs you took to make you come up with this. If you're just that fucking creative and smart on your own, Jesus Christ.
Honestly, he probably just watched the news because I just realized that
he's just newsed out.
That what's his name? Ramek, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so Ramek is Trump. So all the vampires are the MAGA people that just kind of, because they have a hive mind, right?
You're right.
And Smoke gets rid of the leader, the Trump type leader, and then the people are actually free.
Yo, wouldn't it be crazy if if something happened to the guy and then next thing you know, like
people are suddenly
like, oh, like they're woken up out of a trance.
Yeah, like out of a coma. Yeah, trance.
Hell, that's crazy.
That would be crazy.
It's like the spell is broken.
But without that constant droning in your head, you'd actually be able to fucking think.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Like honestly, because we obviously said the vampires are an analog for like white supremacy and the Klan and all this stuff, even though the Klan is in it. But the vampires happen, and it gave Smoke then the energy and the drive to kill the Klan.
Yep. He's like, I gotta get these motherfuckers out of here.
He's like, if I can survive this shit, I can
survive anything. Yeah. He's like, I ain't worried about you real human breathers. Like, you ain't nothing but no human. I ain't worried about you.
And you're right. It was his choice because that was his moment of freedom, being who he was and murdering these people indiscriminately.
Yep.
Because people like him have been murdered by them indiscriminately.
Yep.
And he turned the tables. And that is freedom.
We usually don't see heroes doing heroic things.
Yes.
He did this shit. Nobody saw it.
Yeah.
No one has any clue he did this.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, but he's a silent hero nobody's ever going to know or speak about.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's tons of guys throughout history that have done some dope shit we just don't know about.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm like, damn, that's how it ends. That's the fucking film.
Yeah.
So let's run through these categories real quick because I knew we were going to run long.
I'm sorry.
I knew it. I needed to get it out. I was like, bro, I was like, Cora came in right before I left. I was like, yo, we're doing centers today. She's like, oh God, you're probably going crazy. I was like, I need this. I need to get this out. I was like, I need to get my words out with someone who's seen it. I need to get it out because everybody ain't seen it yet. She's like, dude, she's like, will you shut the fuck up? I want to see it. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, cuz. I can't stop fucking talking about it. So
that's a good thing, though. It says something about the film.
Yo, she's like, now I just have to see it. She's like, the way you and everyone else is talking about it, she's like, I haven't wanted to see a movie this bad in a while. It's like, yo, it's a game changer, bro.
It honestly is. And I heard a lot of people are upset because of the deal that Coogler made. Where the rights get reverted back to him after 25 years. That's the deal Jerry Lewis used to have.
That's what I was like, this is, and Coogler said that. He was like, yo, he said this, not in so many words. He was like, just admit, y'all want to see a black dude get this kind of deal. He's like, just say it. Yeah, he's like, because this is not the first time someone's got a deal like this.
Yeah, if you're not pissed that Jerry Lewis did it, and so he made a shit ton of money when Eddie Murphy redid The Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
If you're not pissed about that, why are you pissed about this?
Facts. And on top of that, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. If your movies have grossed what his have, don't you think you should be compensated for that?
Yeah.
like Black Panther alone is $1 billion movie. Creed made $500 million.
Yeah.
Black Panther 2 made $800 million. Sinners is probably going to do about 350 or 4.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
and the thing is, like, the budget for Sinners is probably half or a third of what like Black Panther is. So if it makes like 300 plus,
oh yeah,
it's the
success.
It's the equivalent of $1 billion movie. Budget wise.
I'm like, and not only that, this guy's changing the game. Like, you know, Ben Stiller was like, y'all motherfuckers, y'all better shut the fuck up. Y'all just mad y'all couldn't do what he did. Like,
and that's weird. The Ben Stiller, like,
he was like, because, you know, they were like, oh, well, yeah, it had a good opening weekend, but it's going to need a lot more. Ben Stiller was like, in what world is a $60 million opening bad?
Yeah.
He's like, are you kidding? Like,
yeah, all these other films are like, this was great. It was above expectations.
It was above expectations. It made $20 million. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, The Accountant 2 was brand new. It finished in 3rd place.
I didn't even know it came out.
Yeah, it's out. It did like 22 or something. Revenge of the Sith did, I think, 27 or 8. And Sinners did 48. That's what I'm like, on the second weekend. 5% drop off. Come on, it's insane.
That is insane.
It's insane. All right, MVP.
Well, there's many.
There's a lot.
There's obviously Ryan Coogler first.
Yep, that's who I have first.
Michael B. Jordan.
That's what I've said.
Even though I say Michael is Jordan.
Michael is Jordan.
I try to be grammatically correct. The kid that plays Sammy.
I have him next. Miles Canton.
Yes, Miles Canton, Annie,
Wumi Masaku.
Yes.
I had her after Haley. This is
Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, I had her. This isn't necessarily in order, but you've been getting them right for the most part.
Yeah, and Jack O'Connell.
Jack O'Connell and Delroy Lindo.
Oh, Delroy Lindo. Yes, of course. I shat myself.
Yeah, yeah, so there was 2, 4, 6, 7 MVPs in this film.
Oh, my God. Wait, we need to add another
Ludwig.
One. Yes.
Yep, Ludwig.
You just read my mind.
I was like, you got to throw the score in there. And the cinematographer, too.
Oh,
it's a chick. And bro, if you was in this movie or behind the scenes, you MVP. Honestly, everybody get in it.
I was wondering if Ryan Coogler is like, you know, like Steven Soderbergh or Sean Baker. I was wondering, I'm like, does he do the cinematography too? And the only reason I was thinking that was that one scene where, you know, the daughter's walking across the street on back. I'm like, what a great eye for how that just, anyway.
Yeah, his cinematographer, she's great, bro. It's some chick. She's amazing. I'm sorry I don't have your name right now. You get your flowers. You did incredible. Yeah, and Ludwig, this dude, we might be dealing with the next fucking
John Williams.
John Williams, yeah. Who's the other dude? The other big composer.
Hans Zimmer.
Hans Zimmer. Yeah, I'm like, we might be dealing with one of them two.
Or even James Horner. He was good for a while.
He was good too, yeah. Peak season. I had the whole cast and crew except Delroy Lindo.
Oh, yeah, because Delroy's been around.
He's done a bunch of shit.
Yes, yeah.
And, like, he's not the lead in this, so...
Yeah, so he could shine more because it's not on his shoulder.
Yes, actually, I'm like, I think that's why his shine. But I'm like, everybody... This is Michael B's. This is Ryan Coogler's. Definitely Miles Canton.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? This is everyone's peak season. Like, even Haley Steinfeld, even though she's not the lead and she's starred in films before, this is her peak season.
Oh, yeah,
she's going to get so much work after this.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can get a lot of work. I'm like, you can get a lot of work. I'll take the lead on this. Best quotes.
Yes, please do.
I got a lot.
You've seen it more than I have.
I've seen it a lot.
And it's too early for me to even any of the quotes might be.
I'm like, but I got you, fella. We'll start right from the top. I want you to swear to me and to the congregation to leave those sinning ways where they are. You boys twins? Nah, we cousins. Ain't no boys here, just grown men with grown man money and grown man bullets. We see you or any of your clan buddies cross our property line, we gonna kill them right where they stand. You keep dancing with the devil, one day he's gonna follow you home. Don't worry, Uncle Jed. We gonna get him back in one piece. Chicago ain't shit but Mississippi with tall buildings instead of plantations. We talking numbers now, and numbers always gotta be in conversation with each other. Daddy! Yo, I was like, what the fuck? And she looked him dead in his fucking face and screamed. I was like, this little girl, my lord. I'm like, yo, who are you?
She's whoever we should have put as Margaret Yang when we recasted Rushmore.
Real shit, right? How old is this girl?
Yeah.
She's probably like, how old do you think that girl is from Sinners? Like 14, 15?
Yeah, she has to be a teenager.
Yeah.
She's age appropriate for a Rushmore
Yeah,
reboot.
she could have. She definitely could. Too bad this movie went out when we did that.
Yes.
Daddy, he cracked up. I was doing better before you shot me in the ass. Can't have some nigga talking about how he almost robbed the twins without limp to show for it. Every cool's got a button on it at the top. You lick that. Not too hard, not too soft. It's got a button at the top.
Hey, it's the man in the boat.
Yes, it is. No, we ain't kill him. Smoke did. Actually, I didn't talk about that. Basically, okay, in the car ride, Sammy asked Stack, like, yo, how did your dad die? He's like, I heard y'all killed him. And he said, no, we didn't kill him. Smoke did. And Smoke killed him because his dad was always beating on Stack because his dad felt like it was Stack's fault that the mom died.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I forgot to mention that. So,
Wow.
yes. So, and that just shows you that Smoke always was looking out for Stack, no matter what, no matter who it was against.
Yeah.
Guess that Chicago wind blew your black ass back down here. Almost every line Delroy Lindo spits out is just gold. You threaten him again, I'm gonna make your drunk ass swallow that harmonica. I was like, hell yeah. Careful, boy. You're gonna bite off more than you can chew. I heard you loud and clear, but then you stuck your tongue in my coos and fucked me so hard I figured you changed your mind. Man, that line's still sitting with me. I'm like Haley.
It's the way she delivers
it. It's the delivery. That's what I was like. Her performance was great. Bro, I felt like I was watching a white woman or a mixed race woman who grew up with black people.
Yeah.
That's what I felt like I was watching. I was like, she played this role very well. I'm like, she had that little sauce in her voice, a little pep in her step. I'm like, okay. I know her fiance is Josh Allen, quarterback for the Bills, $300 million man.
Wow. I
know he watched this shit and was like, bro, you ain't never doing no movie with Michael B ever again. But he was like, y'all motherfuckers is looking too friendly. So he was like, no, sir. White folks like the blues just fine. They just don't like the people who make it. Well, fuck your wife too. I said she really gonna let you fuck her when she find out how much money I'm gonna get you. She might even let you put your pecker in her mouth. Oh, this one said, Papa's here. Papa's here.
Oh, yeah. When he gets to the grave, yeah.
You and Stag rob crackers? Who you and Stag robbed them crackers for to sell you a whole mill? I was like, for real, how did y'all get that much money, bro? Because you know they wanted. That was a big-ass mill.
Well, this would have been probably after Al Capone went to jail.
1932. What year did he go to jail?
I'm going to look it up because I think it was 31 or 32.
Yeah, it might have been, which was probably smart because they're like, yo, we can probably get down there safely without motherfuckers trying to get us.
Yeah.
I'm like, ain't no way you just robbed Al Capone and just walked away like it was nothing. But then again, that mojo bag keeping them safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see here. 1931.
All right, look at you.
Yes.
Yep, so that
would have been right
that
after.
Was smart writing on Coogler. Damn, Coogler. He thought everything. Smoke, give me my money before I cut your black ass. This one's sad. So why those roots ain't work on our baby? I don't know, but they worked for you. I was like, you still got that mojo bag? He takes it off and she like kind of freshes up.
You know, it almost gives you another meaning to the book and the miniseries Roots.
Yeah,
you know, because it's obviously like your family roots, but also
like
it could be
the spiritual roots.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I'm like, man. This movie's so cool. This movie's made me want to do a lot of research. I'll put it that way. All right. It still hurts coming back here, but I love you and I miss you. You sure it wasn't no fair-skinned niggers? Ain't no Indians around here for miles.
And they're just holding that.
They're just holding that.
Yeah,
right there. He's not what he seems. God forbid you let him into your home. If so, we need to act now. Well, she should have let the injured in.
Yeah, well, she didn't trust them.
Yeah, she didn't because they're injured.
Because of racism.
Yeah. John Wayne would have been like, get his ass out of here.
Believe it or not, Felicia is always saying white supremacy will kill you, and she's talking about white people.
Oh, yeah. White supremacy hurts everyone.
Yes.
So,
and I think
that's
even though it's a film, but it's an example of it. Yeah. Because it's true.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, he's just resting. We about to get it popping like fish grease, boy. Y'all some fancy niggas, huh? Too fancy for me.
Yeah.
This place supposed to feel like it's for them. They your cousins? Y'all must be play cousins. I can't talk slick, but I know business, and this is bad for business. What am I? I'm a human being.
Oh, yeah.
When he asked her, like, what are you?
Yes, yeah.
We sent your mama's flowers, plenty of them, all while she was alive to smell them.
What a horrible thing to say.
Right? Yeah.
To someone who just lost their mom.
Yeah. But I think he was trying to be like, yo, don't make it seem like
don't guilt
we
me.
weren't there for her.
Yeah.
Because we were,
Yeah.
I didn't want to be white. I wanted to be with you. Somebody out there put their hands on you. They hurt you. Me and my brother gonna come kill them all. I was trying to keep you somewhere safe. And that was never gonna be here. And that was never going to be with me. The blues, yeah, we brought that from home. I just want to taste you.
No. Yeah.
I ain't going to say I ain't never said that to one. I'm not even going to say I've never said it because I have. Listen, if you ain't never said that to a woman, you ain't living.
That's true. That's true.
At least in your younger years. I haven't said it in a while, but I have in the past. We hungry as dogs. Woof, woof. That part cracks me up every time. We believe in equality and music.
That dude is good.
He was good. That's why I was like, bro, this guy is incredible. She here because she family. Well, can't we just, for one night, all be family? He actually had some great lines.
He did, yeah. Well, see, that's how, the leaders of, like, cults and stuff.
Yes, they're very charismatic. Yeah, they're very charismatic. They're smooth talkers, yeah.
Yeah.
They give me the willies. Crackers a night, they'll do that to you. Yo, I didn't catch that line until the beep time that I saw it. And when I did, I started cracking up. I was like, I did not notice he said that shit. Oh, you ain't in no position to tell me how to live my life. And this is one of my favorite lines in the movie right here. I'm a soldier, boy. And you just gave me a command. And that was when fucking he put that gun to Preacher Boy's head. Oh, yeah, I was like, Smoke, you tripping. Like, what type of money is this? The solid gold kind, darling. You in some deep, deep pain that money can't fix. God, he has some great lines. So you rob banks and trains, but you can't steal this pussy for a night? Yo, I was like, I'm like, Jesus. Baby, you drooling. You want some?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
another one of my favorite lines.
He's like,
He's like, yeah, I'll take a little shit. I mean, listen, if you're in that moment.
Yeah, kind of like.
Listen, I mean.
Even though seeing her drool at first, you're like, what the fuck?
Oh, and then you're like, yo, literally, I heard people, they were like, I've never been so disgusted and turned on at the same time. You can go ahead and look. Oh, he busy, ain't he? He said he was getting some nookie. I'm like, they used that back then, nookie.
I guess so. They did it all for the nookie.
Yep.
And you can take that
cookie and stick it up, yo. He said, what cornbread? He went to take a piss 2 damn days ago. Right, he was going for a grip, bro. I'm like, yo, that motherfucker out. Smoke. It's not what it looks like. Yeah. We gonna kill every last one of you. I could have stopped them while they was making love. Preacher boy.
Oh yeah.
Because he was blaming himself. He's like, bro, if I would have stopped him, bro, he'd be alive. This ain't a Hank we dealing with. You got any magic to bring my brother back? You got a mojo bag for him? And I was like, oh, that was the whole thing. She's like, I'm sorry, I can't.
I wonder why she never did one for him.
I think she knew they'd always be together, and his would protect him too.
Yeah,
because she even said, she's like, I was doing everything to keep you and your crazy ass brother alive. So I think she knew, like,
so Stack was the crazy one.
Stack was the crazy one. That's how they.
That's weird because
Smoke is so much meat. Yo, that's what I'm like. Am I the only one who thought Stack was a chiller?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
That's what I thought too. Yeah. But like, everybody I've listened to talk about the film or what they are like, oh, Smoke's the calm and relaxed one, Stack's the crazy one. I'm like, no. I'm like, yo, Smoke shot two motherfuckers down the middle.
Yeah, Smoke is actually that's what I got.
And Smoke, I'm like, Smoke was ready to shoot his own cousin because he wants to be a blues player. Yeah. When Stack is the one, because I'm like, on the surface, Smoke may look better. But I'm like, behind closed doors, Stack was better. Behind closed doors, Stack was the one who convinced Smoke to let these people pay with what they had. Yeah. Stack was the one who told Preacher Boy to follow his dreams. Yeah. Stack was the one who was cool with the white people, who was trying to be more accepting. Yeah. So I'm like, and in that time, if you were a black person who was cautious of white people, I don't blame you at all. But Stack was a more open-minded one. He was more forward-thinking. He was, in my opinion. Now everybody has their own opinions, but I'm like, was Stack perfect? No, both of them are extremely flawed, and they're both kind of bad guys, if you want to put it that way. But I didn't see Stack as this bad guy that everyone else did.
But also they're products of the society in which they were reared. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I did see Stack as, more level-headed.
I did too. Like, well, Smoke was definitely, if we're doing a business deal, I'd rather have Smoke with me. But if I was going to hang out with, I'd hang with Stack. Yeah, Stack's more fun. But the best thing about me is him. I was like, oh, that was sad. What happened to you, Smoke? Stack dead. Nigga, what the fuck happened to you?
Poor cornbread.
Poor cornbread. Well, that wouldn't be too polite, would it, Miss Annie?
Man.
I ain't never used stale grease, and you know it. Admit to it. Admit to what? That you did. You been in and out of here all day. You ain't never need an invite then. I thought you was better than that, but you just like the white man. I think I shot myself.
I just love what he's like. Y'all smell that?
Smell that?
No. Good.
Good. I think I shot myself. Stack? That's you? No, fool, it's Jim Crow. Open up the door. You lost a lot of blood. Oh, yeah. I feel much better now. Smoke. That ain't your brother. Y'all niggas gonna pay for this shit, locking this pimping in the closet. That's one of my favorite lines, too. These ain't haints. These is vampires. Oh, God. How can it move and sound like Stack if it ain't Stack? I had a girl, vampire, light skin too. She bit me everywhere but my neck. I was like, don't let this fucking great, bro. That's like, if I'm an old actor, like, towards the end of my career, I want roles like these, bro. I want a role like this.
Because you can just shine.
Yeah, that's what you can just shine and have fun. Ugh. You couldn't get the pickle ones?
The garlic. Oh, yeah, the garlic, yeah.
I'm trying to keep you alive, boy. You ain't to question me. That's when he fucking...
Oh, yeah.
They preach for in the face. Some weird shit going on here, Smoke. Let me in. Oh, him? He's just a little hungry, that's all. We gotta go to the grocery store, and we gonna pay little Lisa a visit. He said, "You the devil, ain't you?" So Sammy asked Ramick,
Oh, yeah.
"You can't save him, Smoke. No more than you can save your brother." I was like, oh. He said, "This here is a slaughterhouse. It's a goddamn killing floor. Oh, after we kill y'all, we gonna have heaven right here on earth." He said, "Nigga, it's me, Elias Moore. And Delta, I'm taking my brother, so I'm asking kindly, shut the fuck up." I was like, yeah, damn. "And I ain't doing this shit without you. There is no me without you." I was like, oh, no vision. That shit had me cracking up. "Come on in, you motherfucker." Elijah, you promised me. I'll see you soon.
Mm.
7. That shit, yo, when I first watched it, I started crying. I was like, why is his name like that?
It's almost like, have you seen Fletch, right?
Yeah.
Remember when he's in that, like the Legion or something, and they're doing the thing, and the black dude is up there, and he's like, "Hey, thanks, Sammy." Like, was that even the dude's name?
I know. I fucking called him that, bro. Oh, that's funny as hell. He said, "Hey, stay your ass down." "I'm sorry I couldn't keep you safe." "Don't be sorry. You always did." Hardline. "We will make beautiful music together." He said, "Get rid of that guitar." "I can't, because of whose it was." He said, what do you say? It was Charlie whoever's. He's like, "Who told you that, Stack?" "Oh, lying ass motherfucker. That's our daddy guitar." Grand opening, grand closing.
Ugh.
"I don't want any of that smoke to get on her. I'll have whatever the old man having. Won't be long for you, huh? I can make it so you can stick around. You know, I think I've seen enough of this place." That's what I was like, at that age, I'm good. I'm going to just go ahead and die, bro.
Yeah.
No one wants to be a vampire that old. I at least want to be young enough to, like, do shit.
Yeah, you don't want to be as young as Kirsten Dunst.
No, because then you
never age.
Yeah, because she was getting annoyed. She's like, "I feel like a woman. Like, I want to do woman shit, but I'm stuck in this tiny little fucking body."
Yeah, you're like Baby Herman in Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, real shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that, yeah. That's one of the coolest aspects of that movie, is turning a little ass kid. I miss the real. How about it, Sammy? You still got it in you? The real? Take care, little Sammy. But before the sun went down, I think that was the best day of my life. Was it like that for you? No doubt about it. Last time I seen my brother, last time I seen the sun, and just for a few hours, we was free. And that's the last line of the movie.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, and they're playing that song, and I love that fucking scene. God, I love that scene. All right, what's aged the best? Now, I know this shit just came out, but I have things.
Okay.
The music, the story, the performances, the direction, the cinematography, and the score.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what else?
It's already aged great. I'm sorry. What's aged the worst? Too soon to know.
Yeah.
But I do know those other things aged the best.
I think your one nitpick would be what's aged.
Yeah, that's not, but over time, people are going to say, we don't give a fuck about that shit.
Yeah. Who cares if there was some extra deaths?
I just wanted to have something to complain about to seem like I literally wasn't wiping this film's nut off of my face. So I was like, let me find something to complain about, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, for real. I'm like, I'm standing over this damn movie, bro. I'm like the biggest super fan for this shit. Most rewatchable scenes.
I think you, believe it or not, we're almost 3 hours in. The first 2 hours, you went over all the
every single scene. So we could say the whole movie. I have things written, but the entire thing.
Honestly.
When they kill the snake in the truck.
Yeah.
When Smoke shoots the dudes at the truck. When Sammy plays for Stack in the car.
Yeah.
When they go see Delta Slim. When Delta Slim tells him the story of how his friend was lynched. When Smoke visits Annie.
Wait, hold on really quick. I wanted to say it when you were talking about that scene earlier. It's amazing what they do because as he's telling the story, you can hear in the background, I guess it's like him remembering everything's going on. You can hear what's happening as he's saying it.
Yep, it's
incredible.
Because that's some shit that probably happened 25 years ago. You'll never forget
it's
that.
It's haunting it.
Yep, you'll never forget that. Yep. When Smoke visits Annie, where Mamek shows up to the Klansman's house, when the party starts at the Juke, when Sammy plays I Lied to You and we get the past, present, and future of music.
Yeah.
When Sammy munches up Pearline, when the Vamps come to the Juke, when they turn Mary, when Mary and Stack hook up and Pearline performs, when Cornbread tries to come in after being turned, when Stack wakes up, when the vampires perform their dance outside. Love that scene.
Yeah.
When they do the garlic test, the thing.
Oh, and I love Delroy Lindo eating the garlic.
Oh, yeah, he's like, it's got me all fucked up, Smoke.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, he was everyone if you listen to interviews with any of the cast, they're all like Delroy Lindo is the GOAT. They all awesome. Like he was amazing.
Wow. I believe it.
Oh yeah. When the vampires perform, I said that. When the garlic test, when Ramek explains what their mission statement is.
Oh yeah.
When they come in and Stack kills Annie. When Sammy fights Ramek and Smoke and Stack fight. When Smoke is trying to roll his own cigarette.
Yeah.
When Smoke kills the clan. And then the mid-credit scene.
So do you think this whole film is really about, if I say PTSD, there's a doctor, Dr. Joy, I forget her last name, but I think she wrote a book and goes around and does talks about post-traumatic slave disorder.
It could be
how it's like generational trauma and things like that.
Hey, I never heard that, but
yeah,
I mean, it could be, dude. That's some like there's about 5 main themes in this movie. There's so many, and they all matter, and they all mean something from the smallest ones to the biggest ones. Like. So I'm like, bro.
That's good. I'm glad the smallest ones matter too.
Yeah.
As a white guy, I'm happy to hear that.
The smallest and the biggest.
The smallest ones matter too. Yes. We don't care if it's tinier than Berlin's clit. We don't care. We don't care.
But Bo might have a bigger issue than you. All right, I'm done here.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about it. Right.
I'm like,
is he Korean?
All right, best characters. Smoke, Stack, Sammy, Delta Slim, Annie, Mary, Pearline. But Ramek, I might have to throw him in there.
Yeah,
he's vital to the movie. He really elevates that second half. So, yeah, Ramek too. But he also goes in worst. So, worst characters, I had Grace, Ramek, and Hogwood. The only reason I put Grace in worst is this bitch let them all in. I'm like, you got so many people killed.
She was worried about her daughter at a time when her daughter would have been home, not at the store.
Yeah, I was like, bro, she's fine.
She's not at the store. She's home.
And I'm like, guess what? They're here. Yeah. They're not leaving y'all. They want Sammy. They're not going to go.
And this is the middle of the fucking night. Yeah. Your store's not open.
It's not open. This bitch is asleep. Yeah. Look, I'm like, they would much rather have Sammy than her. So they're not going to leave Sammy so he has time to go somewhere else to go with your daughter. No.
Yes.
So that's why I'm like, use your head, Grace. I know you're mad. Use your head. Hogwood, those are racist dudes. Of course, yeah. We already talked about my main Netflix. Also, why the fuck didn't they check what the liquid was?
Yeah, that's true.
Check the liquid. I'd be like, hey, it's that. It's beer.
Yeah.
He's good, guys. He just passed out.
It's beer mixed with vomit.
Yep. He's all good.
I'm glad I licked it.
Glad I licked it up. Yep. Recasting couch. All right. I think I have some good ones for here. But
obviously, Jonathan Majors has to be.
Smoking Stack.
Yes.
Jonathan Majors. That is who I had.
It has to be. It has to be.
There's no one else.
Yeah, no one else could pull it off.
Yeah, and who's got the size?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
if you're not going for size, obviously Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah, Lakeith Stanfield.
He's proven that he could.
God, he would be so good.
Yeah.
At Smoking Stack.
Yeah.
He's too chill. I feel like he wouldn't be so because they're very
someone has, you're right, the size and can be menacing.
Yes, and Michael B is that, especially after you see him like as Killmonger and stuff.
Yeah.
Sammy, I had David Johnson. I've been using him a lot. The little British black kid.
Oh, the dude we were from Alien.
From Alien.
Romulus.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess he could. I was thinking Elijah from Clarence, his buddy.
Oh, yeah, he would be good too.
Yeah.
But is he too old?
It,
I think he's closer to my age.
Yeah, but black don't crack. He looks young.
He looks young. You're right. All right. Either one. He'd be good too. Yeah, that's a good pick. I like him.
That's what I was thinking.
We got to start using him more. Let's go with him. I like that. Delta Slim. Sam Jackson.
Of course.
It's got to be Sam Jackson. I was like, who else? I was like, Morgan Freeman's just a little bit too old.
Yeah.
And if Idris was like 10 years older, or maybe 15 years older, he would work. For Annie, I don't love this, but I really couldn't think of anyone in the age bracket who fits the mold. So I had Divine Joy from The Holdovers. She's a little heavier than Annie.
Oh, yeah, but she would.
But she's a great actress, and they have the similar vibe. I could not think of anyone else.
But what about the girl we were talking about that was in The New Color Purple and in Peacemaker, Danielle?
Oh, yeah.
Danielle?
Yeah, her too.
Yeah.
She actually, I like her more.
Yeah.
She's a little more, her build fits Annie a little bit better.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Good.
Okay.
I didn't even think, damn, look at you. There you go.
Well, you got me thinking when you were like, yes, we're going to recast. And even though I was busy, so I didn't write anything down, I have been thinking about it.
I got my brain going.
Yeah.
Mary.
This was a tough one. I know you're probably like Jenna Ortega.
She's not Spanish, no.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, even though she plays Paul Rudd's daughter in Death of a Unicorn.
She does.
So is she Jewish too?
Maybe.
Okay, that could be.
She's too Spanishy looking. I went with a white girl who looks like she could have a little drop of something in her. I want Millie Bobby Brown.
You know what? That works.
That works. Or, my alternate was Florence Pugh. Just because she got the flavor. She got the acting style to pull it off.
Yeah, and she could because I've seen her do right now like almost everything.
Yeah, I'm like, she got the acting style and chops. Perline, I went with my go-to dark-skinned girl, Lupita.
Would she be too...
We'd have to beef the roll up, though.
Well, see, here's my problem with that, because Lupita is not... And I realize that the actress who plays Annie is an American, but there's a difference between, like...
An American black girl and an African black girl.
Yes.
Absolutely. You're right.
So you'd almost have to...
If Naomi Campbell is like 15 years younger, that's what I'm like, man.
Just put Naomi Campbell
in anything.
Yeah,
like, sheesh.
Because, God, she still looks
She's
amazing.
still looking good.
My God.
Man. I was like, she was younger.
But she's acting.
She's acted, so I'm like, she's just too old.
And stuff.
Yeah, she's just too old now. I was just like, I couldn't think of too many people in the age range that fits the look, who's got the nice silky dark skin. Like,
all right, here I'm gonna look up someone because I don't know her name, but I have to look it up really quick.
All right, so while you're looking at that, Ramic, I had Josh O'Connor. Have you ever seen him? You ever seen Challengers?
I have not.
Oh, I'm about to show him. He's a great actor. He's the same age as Ramic. You ever seen this guy?
I have seen him before.
He's good. He's Irish. You know what I mean?
All right, she's a little older, but she played Josie in Riverdale.
Oh, yeah, this girl. She's only 37. That could work. Yeah, she's pretty. Yeah, that works. Let's do that. What's her name?
Ashley Murray.
Ashley Murray. That's what we're going for, Pearlie and Ashley Murray.
Yeah, because she was actually great in Riverdale as Josie from Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, she's good looking. Grace. I had two. Either Constance Wu or Ali Wong.
I think because Ali Wong's a comedian.
She is, yeah.
I could see that.
She could bring a little humor and spice to it.
But then Constance Wu was in Fresh Off the Boat, right? That comedy TV show.
Was she in that?
Yeah, even though she was in obviously Crazy.
That's what I thought of.
And that J-Lo movie where she was like a
Hustlers?
Stripper. Hustlers, yeah. But yeah, I think Constance Wu would probably...
She probably got more of the acting chops to pull it
And then Henry Golding could play Bo.
Oh, yeah, he could. I didn't think about who that was.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, he is. He can play Bo.
Yeah.
Boom.
I mean, he played Snake Eyes for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
The best G.I. Joe character.
Best G.I. Joe piece of content.
Actually, I think Snake Eyes was the best G.I. Joe film,
Thanks. Director, it's pretty obvious, huh? Jordan Peele.
Oh my God, that would be great.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's got to be a black dude.
Yeah,
and it's got to be someone who delves in horror. Perfect.
Yes, you're right.
I was like, it's got to be Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele probably watched this, was like, yo, let me set my game up, bro. If I was Jordan Peele,
he's like, I got to get back to it.
I got to get to work. I'm like, I got some work to do. Unanswerable questions. All right, how long do Stack and Mary stay together?
Forever.
Forever. What happened in Chicago? And what happened with Stack and Mary in the past?
Yes.
Because a lot of people want a sequel. I don't want a sequel.
Yeah.
I want a prequel.
Yeah, a prequel. It makes more sense.
Yes, I don't want a sequel.
Because I want to see like what they did for like Capone.
Yes, that's what I want to see. I'm like,
how they got what they brought with them.
But of course, everybody's gonna want vampires. So I'm like,
but also you want to know like what was their experience in World War I?
Yes, that's what I'm like. I want to, dude. Yeah. I would love a prequel
because this whole thing is about PTSD. Because obviously Slim has PTSD.
Oh yeah, Slim. And now Preacher Boy has PTSD from his night. Smoke and Stack already had it.
Yeah,
Slim had it. So I'm like, I'm sure Cornbread did too.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's probably descendants of slaves. So I'm sure
everybody.
Shit, yeah. So yeah, because he's probably like just the first generation who weren't slaves.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm like, everybody got PTSD. Prop you want from the movie? Sammy's
guitar. Yeah,
it's like Sammy's guitar. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, there's gotta be it. So guys, that's it. And I know y'all are like, these motherfuckers kept us this long. I knew it was gonna be long. I knew. Because I was like, I got way too much to say. It's too thematically rich. There's too much going on. Sorry, guys. But hey, 3-ish ain't too bad. So let's grade it. I think you guys can guess.
I know you're giving it like 100%.
F-. Psych. A+ with extra credit. With an apple on the desk for the teacher. Come on.
Yes. I would give it a solid 95 to 98.
Sounds good. Yeah. You can't be, if you see it again, it's going to go up because it only gets better.
Originally, I've only seen it once.
Originally, I had it at a 95.
Okay.
I watched it again and I was like,
yeah. 105. Look, I've only seen it one time in my defense.
It's great film. Ryan Coogler, thank you. Shout outs to the cast and the crew because the behind the scenes guys deserve just as much credit.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So hey, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. Stoned Age, we're getting into our greatest We're getting into some films that might not be that great, but we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Films I have never seen. I've never seen The Stoned Age. We're gonna do Born in East LA.
Yeah,
with Cheech Marin.
Cheech Marin classic.
Never seen that either.
I was born in East LA, man. Yeah, like I only ever saw the trailer for it, like when it came out.
Yeah,
believe it or not, you know the song "Born in the USA."
Yeah, I love that song.
He has a song "Born in East LA," I believe.
That's fucking
if I'm not mistaken, from that film.
God,
I could be wrong because this is after Cheech and Chong, I believe, broke up.
Yeah.
So,
well, they just dropped a new movie.
Yeah, it's a documentary.
Oh, it's a documentary.
It's Cheech and Chong's last movie.
I thought it was a movie. Okay,
I think it's a documentary about them.
I love to watch it though, because like Up in Smoke is my shit. But
that's a good movie.
It's a great film.
Because doesn't he put like that Rolls Royce grill on like a Volkswagen?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Oh man,
it's been a while since I've seen it. But
when they're pulled over on the side of the road, getting stoned as fuck, and they think they're driving.
Oh yeah,
he had a I was like, God damn.
We might have to do that sometime.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. I love stoner flicks. So, all right, guys, I'm Dom.
I'm Jamie.
It's the Cutter and Floor.